Big up, shoot your first. Thought I'd just start a little bit early. We'll do a little bit of chit chat. 10 minutes of chit chat, and then we'll get into the Alan stuff. Do you know who this is? He's pulling his banana. He's having a pull on his banana. Squeeze that peel, it comes in denim. What's he doing? What's he doing? Look. What's he doing? He's not, is he? Not before his stream starts while the camera's on. He's not. What, before the stream starts while the camera's on? With the camera on live, on the live stream, not realising it's going out live. He's not, is he? He's not, is he? I think he might be, actually. Ooh. Ooh. Later on confirmed by the man himself, this is what's referred to as...
What is up, everyone? Hello, and welcome. Oh, the camera's on. The camera's been on the whole time, huh? I don't even know.
The camera has been on indeed the whole time. This is what's referred to as the incident.
Hello.
The incident. Hello. The incident. That's what's referred to as the incident. This man, Darkside Phil, internet lolcow, laughing stock on the internet. I just showed you a video of him before he started his stream. Squeezing his banana. By mistake, live on camera, in front of his entire audience. It's one of the things he's most famous for. It's the thing he's most famous for. He's that guy. He's the guy. He's that guy. He's the guy. And there's a thriving community talking about the guy on the internet, of which I am one of. Do a few little videos about the guy myself. Darkside Phil. Steve of the Dead, he does a few videos of him, 10-hour videos, 8-hour videos, psychoanalyzing the guy. And they do a podcast called That Being Said. I say they, that's Alt Insider, Fantastic Mr. Sam, Meerkat, and Steve of the Dead, who you might recognise from such shows as Thus. They do a podcast called That Being Said. I'm going to be on the chuffer tomorrow. It's called The Group Think. Happens every few days. And That Being Said's main show happens every Sunday. I think the Sunday show. You know, sometimes it's a slightly different day, but I'm going to be on The Group Think tomorrow as a which guest is podcast best. I'm going to be on The Group Think as a panellist. So if anyone's called in, any people call in, I call in sometimes. I'm going to be one of these people on the panel. Look. So that's going to happen tomorrow. If you want to leave a message for That Being Said, they've got a speak pipe. Don't know if I should suggest this to you, chuffers. It's mainly about Darkside Phil stuff. That's their speak pipe, and they play the messages on the show, and then the people talk about them. So I'll drop that link in as well. I'll drop it in again later. I'll shout it out at the end of today's show. I'm going to be on that tomorrow. Tonight, of course, AD's back. Guess who's back? This idiot. So we're going to be watching Alan's worst ever patron. His worst ever patron. That's what he said it was. His worst ever patron. Okay? So he said it himself. We're going to watch it. It's not a Virgin React tonight, because I did watch a bit of it on Curious Cat's stream last night. Trisha was also covering it. It's nice to see a wide range of people, new people covering the horrors of Vinicum. Means I can have a day off. But I wanted to cover this one. So we're going to cover this. Also, what you haven't seen is he had a right big go about the royals, the royal family, doing the royal family. Does Kate, what's happened to Kate? And he did that on Rumble. So I've got that as a react. That's going to follow this as a video premiere. So it's another big night of hammering Alan. He's getting pretty upset, I reckon. We'll start on that in about 8 minutes. We'll start on that in about 8 minutes. Listen, if I say he's getting...
Banana, tasty banana. Put a banana in my mouth. Squeeze the peel. It comes out and then squeeze banana.
Maybe we can talk about that tomorrow. If I suggest that Alan's getting a bit upset, I'll tell you what I want you to not worry about, right? Is I don't want you to worry about him and feel like, oh no, you feel a bit upset. That's kind of okay, because he's made all his own problems because of the bad things he's done. Oh look, she's looking at you in chat. He's made all the problems because of all the bad things he's done, right? It's his own behaviour, and now he's reaping the rewards. And okay, he might feel a bit sad because he deserves to. It's guilt. So that's okay. Like, when you think about all the bad stuff he's done and all the times he had the opportunity to show a bit of forgiveness to someone else, and he never did, and he never would, and he'd be really mean to you, he wouldn't stop being mean to you, he wouldn't show any compassion to anyone else, he only ever thinks of himself. And the reason he's most sad at the moment is because he is at a very low ebb, but also he's got Malta coming up, and he wants to go to Malta, and it's big pity party time. So, before we get started on Alan himself, we'll have a look through. You see this picture here? It's good, isn't it? Babysitter for hire. Do you want me to give you the number? So before we get started on Alan himself, I'll show you. She's looking at you in chat. Why isn't she looking at me? She's my favourite. She's looking at you in chat. I thought we'd look at some of my pictures. It's a good one, this, babysitter for hire, isn't it? She's looking at you in chat. Why is she looking at you? Hello? What are you doing up in chat? Can I have a kissy? No, I'm looking at chat. It's my favourite. Thought we'd look at some pictures. My thumbnails have been coming along quite well, haven't they? What do you think? Thumbnails have been going quite well recently. Look at this one. Whoa. All I have to do is bang up the contrast. That's it, done. Don't have to do anything to it. Oh, he's manipulating. He's photoshopping them. I'm not photoshopping them. I tell you this. I'm not photoshopping them. I don't have Photoshop. It's just done on PC Paint, that is. Look at him. It's a good one, isn't it? I think it's a good one anyway. This one isn't photoshopped at all. That's just the real deal. As is this one. We'll start talking about him in a minute. Have you seen this? Kate Price has been bankrupt. She's declared bankrupt for a second time. That's bad for her, isn't it? I hope she doesn't start exploiting Harvey by making TikTok videos of him for monies. Again, this is a good one. This is a good one, right? This is a good one. Have you seen this? I was looking on Amazon for a big teddy bear to put behind me, like a big something to fill that space, and I saw this teddy bear. I thought, that's a big teddy bear, isn't it? 70 quid. It's quite expensive for a teddy bear. Look at it though. That teddy bear's having a good time, isn't he? Big ups Acoustic Gymnastics. I should talk to all you in chat, shouldn't I? Big ups Jersey Gal. Big ups Curious Cat. Big ups BCTV. Big ups Jojo. Big ups Doddy. Big ups Shirley. I see. I'm just saying all the green names. See, I'm just saying all the green names. And hello to everyone who's a grey name. That Teddy looks pretty happy with himself, doesn't he? He looks pretty happy with himself. He's a big bear, I'll tell you that. She sat right on his lap. He looks quite happy with himself anyway. Who's this teddy bear for, and what's its purpose? Why have they booked this model? He's got his arms round her. They booked that model. What's going on with that? He looks very happy with himself. Big ups Happy Days. Are you alright? Don't know about Teddy, but someone's had stuffing, haven't they? Someone's had a stuffing. Hey, £73. You'd expect to get money's worth. Someone's got their money's worth. Big Ted's having a great day. Big Ted's having a great day. Someone who's not having a great day, of course, is Angry Alan. I've got to tell you a little bit about Odyssey before we get started. I said a little bit about it before. So we're going to watch Angry Alan's worst ever. It's his own statement was it's his worst ever patron. So we're going to watch that. And then after that, I've got a premiere of a react to his royal goings on. He's also been on TikTok doing live streams over there. There's a bit of that on the react, so you'll get to see a bit of that. I'm not going to watch the debacle from yesterday quickly now, but let me just tell you, he's been on TikTok and he's been paying for views. It's not just an opinion at this point. I don't understand how anyone out of nowhere, really, just on a random weekday, can go on TikTok, start live, talk about Kate Middleton from 3 days ago, from like last week's news, and draw 1,000 people. I just don't see it. I just don't see it. I really don't. It sounds a lot like someone's paying money to get 1,000 people in the chat for, 1,000 real subs, 200 real likes, and then that big crowd will draw more people. It's the classic snake oil salesman. Oh look, there's a crowd. What's going on over there? Well, this looks interesting. That lady called Kaka, she seems to like it. That lady called Liz, she seems to like it. Melissa Marvelous has been sucked right in. Like Alan tries to pretend to them there's a big crowd, so it seems important. There's nobody. I could tell you a big way we can find out that there's nobody is if we do go to Alan's Odyssey, for example, his new thing, the new Odyssey channel page. He's got 22 followers, right? He's got 22. So he's asked on his channel, could you please go and follow me on Odyssey? He's had 100,000 YouTube subs, apparently. He's had 1,000 people watch him on TikTok yesterday. On his Rumble, he regularly, routinely pulls, 1,000 people? No, look. 22 people have gone over there to look at that, right? 22 to sign up. He's got like 26 views on a video. This is not a surprise over there. I'll tell you more about this in just a second, but 18 views on that video. So how many people are really supporting Alan? Probably about 7 or 8 in his Spanners group, maybe slightly more, to the tune of 10 or 12 in his Patreon. And some of those will watch this twice. A bunch of us will have watched, like 5 or 6 of us detractors will have followed this and seen where it's gone, and I'll have had a quick look. Martin Dean might have had a look. You know what I mean? Like, so imagine those detractor numbers going there as well. How many people are supporting Alan, really? Really? It was the same when he went to Rumble. Overnight, from 100,000 on YouTube down to literally 20 on Rumble. They weren't all lining up, queuing up to subscribe. He's got a very, very small group of people that now still support him. It's very small. Okay, it's very small. And when he goes onto TikTok, that doesn't equate to 1,000 views. He's paying for the views, so it makes it look like there's people there. So Melissa Marvelous thinks it's important, so that she'll keep giving him money. Come on. 22. Let me also show you something before we even get into any big conversation. I've told you briefly, and like, go and do your own Google on Odyssey if you want. I've told you briefly, it's a dead cryptocurrency, right-wing platform. I told you in the last episode, showed you some things, so I'm not going to go on and on about it, but let me show you something else. Do you know Jim Can't Swim? Have you ever heard of Jim Can't Swim? Criminal Psychology. Yeah? You might have heard of them because on YouTube, Jim Can't Swim, Criminal Psychology, is like the Don Doddy. Been around for ages. The Don Donny. Been around for ages. The originator of the true crime genre, in my opinion. They were one of the early people to play, I want to say unedited, but not completely unedited, but interview footage from crimes and pause it, talk about it, teach us something about criminal psychology, criminology. It's really good. Of course, when you look at Jim Can't Swim, you don't see all of their videos there anymore because they had a little problem with YouTube, like a lot of true crime channels had at one point, where YouTube, I think it was after the adpocalypse, it wasn't during the adpocalypse, but sometime after, certain true crime channels and content got demonetized, and Jim Can't Swim found a lot of its content came under the demonetization banner, or the hammer, and a lot of channels in that genre came through this problem. They've come through it now. YouTube's adapted its system. You can do the report. You can, a lot of these videos will now be okay to be monetized, but a lot of their content, YouTube has decided no. And Jim Can't Swim was when I say Jim Can't Swim, it's not a person called Jim. right? This is a channel of people that write and produce. Like, there's more than one person on the team here. Yeah. The team were very unhappy. They decided to move from YouTube and set up their own website because they didn't like the idea they could be switched off overnight by YouTube. This is one of the top YouTube true crime channels, or the top YouTube true crime channel in my opinion. You know, don't 5.5 million subscribers is massive. Doesn't matter if people have got more or less subscribers. What I mean is, anyone that does YouTube true crime, Jim Can't Swim is someone they've watched and been inspired by. So they've decided to go and put on their own website and do their own thing, just to be sure that they're not reliant on YouTube when they've had those problems. It's all settled now. They talked about it on Twitter. It was a whole thing. It happened a few years, or is it a year ago now that this happened with Jim Can't Swim, or a little bit longer? Anyway, this all happened with Jim Can't Swim. It's a YouTube phenomena thing. You know, it's like saying this happened to PewDiePie or something. You know, it's a big channel with big numbers, top of the game, and they decided that YouTube wasn't the best place to hold all of their content because of the nature of their content. They couldn't sometimes not tread over those lines, and sometimes YouTube would demonetize and that sort of stuff. Okay, so what they also have done, look, Jim Can't Swim is set up on Odyssey as well. So this must be brilliant for Odyssey. Odyssey must be great, mustn't it? Because Jim Can't Swim's there, and Jim Can't Swim is one of the biggest ones, right? What Odyssey allows is for an automated system of send your video to Odyssey after you upload it to YouTube. And what YouTubers do is they use it as a sort of storage space. Because Jim Can't Swim knows that some of their videos might not stay on YouTube, they've uploaded them all here. So now they're all going to stay here. This place won't delete. This place won't shut you down. It's basically like a storage locker. It's just a huge storage locker. And it's got blockchain attached to it. So it's harder for things to be deleted. So Alan won't necessarily benefit from that because, you know, does he want all of his stuff to be never ever to be able to be deleted? I don't know. For Jim Can't Swim, it's a place that they can ensure that even if YouTube decide to delete their videos and channel, this will still be in existence, just as a backup storage locker. And you can tell this as well because when you view their content, they basically uploaded in a huge chunk 5 months ago all of their content in one huge upload glut 5 months ago. And you can see there's a lot more content here than there is on the YouTube channel. The YouTube channel used to contain all this content, and anyone who goes way back with Jim Can't Swim will recognize all this content. The YouTube channel doesn't contain it anymore. The website does, and this website will also hold some of it for them, yeah? In a big glut. All just upload. They don't give a monkeys about getting money from this Jim Can't Swim on this channel, on Odyssey. They're not here to try and grow Odyssey. They're not here to try and grow their content. They've got 64 followers on Odyssey. Right, 64 followers. Jim Can't Swim, 64 followers on Odyssey. On YouTube, right, on YouTube, 5.5 million. On Odyssey, 64. And Chris Watts, for example, big case, isn't it, the Chris Watts case? Jim Can't Swim on YouTube, doing Chris Watts. And it's not just because Chris Watts is big, right? It's not just because Jim Can't Swim made a really good channel, built it, grew it, and then when they talk about Chris Watts, people are there to watch that because it's Jim Can't Swim talking about Chris Watts, the channel talking about Chris Watts. It's not that if Alan does Chris Watts is so popular, Alan will now also be popular. Alan is the common denominator that proves that his content is awful. No one wants to hear Alan. They are interested, some people are interested in the content, like whether it's about Chris Watts or it's about, I don't know, the Royals. Some people are interested in that, but when they meet and learn about Alan, they're switched off. They don't want to know. Okay? It's proved in the way that so many other people can talk about Chris Watts on YouTube and not be deleted, not be binned off, say basically the same things as Alan. And it's about, I guess, people like that person more, and they built a more cohesive and structured channel. So people are there to watch the channel. Right, proven out by recent events on YouTube. But anyway, the case of Chris Watts on YouTube from Jim Can't Swim, get this, right? This is 15 million video views on that video. Sorry, you can't quite see it, it's cut off the bottom, isn't it? 15 million on that one and 10 million on that one, right? You can see all these videos have got 18 million, 14 million, 12 million, 9 million. They released a video 11 months ago, it's already got 19 million. They don't have to release a lot of videos. They're not pumping out YouTube content anymore, as I said, but absolute top of the tree. Yeah, go over to Odyssey, the same content on Odyssey gets 35 views. 35. And what does that tell you? It tells you that Odyssey is a completely dead platform and no one gives two tosses about true crime on Odyssey. That no one can gain traction and build their Odyssey channel and get a lot of views from it, because the best in the business on Odyssey uses it as a storage space and can get 20 million views on YouTube, 5 million views on their chat, 5 million subscribers, 64 followers on Odyssey, and 100 views. Like, it's just stupid. It's stupid. Odyssey's dead. It's ridiculous. Alan is already the most successful true crime content creator on Odyssey with his 22 followers and 26 views. And that is because Kaka has gone and watched this twice. Melissa Marvelous has watched it. If you add them up on one hand, like if you say all their names from his chat, it literally only amounts to about 10 people. Okay? Alan is not going to explode on TikTok, because if he gains popularity on TikTok, that generation, I mean, they're a bit more, in my opinion, naive and easy to sort of befuddle quickly on TikTok. So Alan might like that as a grifter. But when they get hold of the truth about Alan, when those, like, because we haven't all got TikTok accounts, I could easily have a TikTok account and upload all my content about Alan on there. Like, when they get hold of the truth about Alan, he's not going to want all the TikTok people doing what the rest of the YouTube people do, is he? It's a real foolish mistake for Alan to push his TikTok and to try and pretend that he's in front of, like, there's a lot more mothers, there's a lot more young people, there's a lot more people that will be defensive over those concepts. And if they saw him singing with Kids on Smule, oh my God. Like, can you imagine if TikTok got hold of Alan singing with Kids on Smule and that went viral? Yeah? Like, that's the whole of the TikTok world. If he thinks it's bad because us make our videos and react to his content, imagine what the TikTok world would do. That really is, like, he thinks YouTube's the Wild West. Wow. So he's naive and stupid this week. Stupid. I think this is because, of course, we're going to come on to play his video, the worst ever. The worst ever. Don't worry, we're about to get to that. I just want to make this point. I think Alan's at a very low ebb. I think whatever payment things come through, monthly or whatever, have come through, and it's not been good enough this last month. I think this isn't just a grift for money, you know, another place to try and grow some money. I think this is because he recently did an intro where he edited Netflix with a song, You Gotta Know When to Hold 'Em, and that song is heavily copyright protected. We played a little bit in our stream because he played it on his stream and we reacted to it. I got a copyright notice, not like, oh, we'll send the money to the copyright holder, so it's okay, it's up to you if you want to leave it in or not. It was, this stream will not be shown in all of these countries, and it was all the countries. These people protect their copyright heavily. You don't have an option. Remove it or your stream does not get seen. And I was like, okay, I'll remove the song because YouTube gives you that choice. Yeah. And I thought, wow, like usually when a song, you know, it can be a little copyright thing, but it's not going to take your stream down and you just send the money to the song. You know, it's not a big deal these days on YouTube, but that song is. They heavily protected it. So on YouTube, you get the opportunity to just do a bit of editing. Sorry, YouTube. Not a slap on the wrist even. It's just like, that's not a problem. Sorry you had a problem with a copyright song. We're all good here. But over on Rumble, I don't know what the system is. And if that big media group aggressively pursue their copyright and he's put Netflix and he's put that song, it might be that Alan just got hit with some sort of copyright problem on Rumble. I don't know if they do strikes. I don't know anything about it on Rumble. Okay, fair enough. But it might be that he's on thin ice, because he does. He gets himself on thin ice with the copyrights. He's done it as a track record. Constant thing, yeah? So it might be that he's on thin ice with Rumble and he thinks, what will happen if Rumble goes down? What am I going to do then? And he's thought, a backup plan. And this Odyssey, in terms of backup plans, it's the backup plan's backup plan, because it's just a storage locker. Literally no one goes there to watch videos. Oh, the stats bear out as well. It's unseen in search histories and search engines. Like, you go to Google and you search for videos, Odyssey videos don't come up. There's another aspect, which is that I think the statistics are 60% of people who view Odyssey then go on and watch YouTube. It's like basically more than half the people who open up the website decide just to go to YouTube. So it really is a waste of time, unless you're worried about having all your stuff deleted and you think this is a good place to keep it. It's a good place to keep it if you want it on the blockchain recorded forever, and it's a good place to do your transactions if you want them on the blockchain recorded forever. But I don't think Alan does in either of those cases, because he wouldn't be able to delete, remove, re-edit, pretend he didn't say. He's going through a court case for defamation, so it's not a place for him to start again pretending he's young again. This is a failed attempt to create some sort of backup space, I think. I say failed attempt, it will create the backup space, but that's all it's good for. So I don't know why he wasted his time doing this. To be honest, he's better off backing up his videos onto a hard drive and then just playing them on Zoom to those ladies. Even they couldn't get... this week, what we've seen as well is that even his ladies, his spanners, they've started to not give a toss. He was horribly misogynistic. They kind of like that. He's now going to try and swerve back into the Jeremy Vine lane and say that he's always liked Jeremy Vine. But he's been horribly misogynistic. I think he might have even lost one, maybe, or someone along the way. Maybe someone has cancelled, because he talks about cancelling a lot at the moment. The Voice, they have to cancel. They have to cancel their patron, don't they, Alan? To get rid of that. So maybe someone's cancelled their patron. I feel like he's not got the money he needs for Malta, and he's feeling at a bit of a low ebb. That's what I think's happening with Alan. So there was the desperate straw clutch towards the royal family, which I actually think was actually not a bad choice, the royal family react. I think it's a bit of fun, a bit of frivolity, a bit different. I don't think it resonated well with his core audience. And he's got this real problem of having a very small group of people who want a certain thing. And if he tries to branch out and broaden out, he's going to lose them, and then he's going to be left with no one at all. And so he has to keep doing the same old thing. But if he keeps doing the same old thing, then they're even bored of it, and you're not going to get new people. So he's in a real rock and a hard place. Obviously, he's put himself there, and he deserves to be there, so that's good. So we're going to watch his. This is his patron. His patron following a TikTok where he paid for loads of viewers. He rambled about the royal family, and he told them all, come to... It was classic. I should have recorded it, but, hear it from me here. He said, in about half an hour's TikTok, he said, I'm going over to Patreon now. I'm going to tell you the truth about Kate Middleton. Join me on Patreon. It was a classic. Spanners put the link in Patreon now. He thought he could build up a head of steam, pay for 1,000 viewers, draw in some idiots, tell them that it's all going to be on Patreon. Here's the link. And in the old days, on Facebook, on YouTube, when everyone's at home locked in on lockdown, that might have worked. But on TikTok, it doesn't work, because the people on TikTok are not going to want to go from their phone swipey TikTok fun to finding Rumble on an app so they can download it, so they can pay for Patreon on a different app, so they can download that, pay for that, so they can watch Alan tell them the truth about Kate Winslet 3 days later. All information that they see on TikTok anyway. Alan's got all this information off TikTok. It's a debacle. It's a shambles. So Angry Alan's Royal Shambles, his first... I'll just make it clear. Angry Alan's Royal Shambles is going to be on after this as a premiere with the chat. So this week he talked about Joey Barton and sexism. We've covered that. Then he talked about Kate Spiracies, he called it, so that he called it Kate Spiracies, honestly, so that the algorithm couldn't understand what he meant. Right, so he's called it Kate Spiracies. That's the one that's going to come up after this as a premiere. And right now we're going to watch the Patreon that he did last night, where after everything, and I think he watched our video react. I think he watched what we did yesterday. I think he watched the video that we dropped yesterday, Misogyny Marathon, and I think he got really angry and furious and a bit wound up with it. If you do want to watch all the battery exhausted Armchair Detective stuff, there's a playlist. Go and find the playlist. You'll be able to see it all from the start. That's a lot of fun. Hundreds of videos, a lot of fun. And we know what we're going to watch tonight. I've got coffee.com if you want to do a tippy. I'll pop that in chat so you know the link. That makes your tippies come up on screen. You can also do a super chat. I'm absolutely grateful for anything. We've got members, grateful for all of it. And your thing will come up on the screen and it will read it out and interrupt me, so that's good. Is there any other bits of housekeeping I need to cover before we start? Are you all good in chat? Hello to you all. Big ups, blank faces on Wedgie Watch. Looks like you're all good in chat, doesn't it? So we're all good to get going. Let me just check my buttons.
AD, 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 AD!
That works.
Torchy. Light on. Yeah, Torchy. I remember Torchy when I was a little tiny boy. I used to love Torchy. Torchy the battery boy.
That works. If Alan is quiet or difficult to hear, I can boost his volume, but I have to search up. Oh, big ups.
Someone sent tippies. Super Chuffer owes 3
She's
hugs.
giving me a look. She's giving me a look. Look who it is, look. She's giving me a look. Was that someone? If it is, then I don't mind it being anonymous. That's lovely, thank you. But it says happy days in here. So is it possible that you said something rude? Did you want it to be anonymous? No, you didn't say anything, did you? Like, sometimes people say something rude and it won't let you through, like if you use a really rude word. But I think you just give me a tip with thank you. So if it was, you wanted it to be anonymous, I've now made it public. So. But thank you for the tippy. Did you like that? Where's Nancy? You want the Where's Nancy? Where's my tippies? I don't need to press buttons for just nothing.
Where's Nancy?
Where's Nancy?
Where is Nancy anyway?
Where's Nancy?
Pressing buttons for nothing.
High heels on my tippies.
Free buttons getting free buttons out of me. So we're all ready to give some good Alan now, aren't we? To get some good Alan. Bear in mind, scene set. He's watched a great big Super Chuffer marathon stream of me reacting to his misogynistic garbage. He's jumped on TikTok to pretend that he's streaming to 1,000 people in some sort of furious rage reaction to prove to the trolls that he's got 1,000 people on TikTok. Okay? Bear in mind, when you do watch the premiere that will follow this immediately after, I will not know that he faked the views at the start, and I'll just judge it like he might have had 1,000 people, but at the end we sort of see that he's been faking the views. So he will be in sort of like, he's in a really weird emotional state because he spent 4 hours being really frustrated and angry about what Super Chuffer was saying on the internet, and then he spent like half an hour getting this narcissistic fuel, but he knows that it's fake and he paid for it, and it didn't really hit the spot. And it didn't really make a pay through. And when he comes onto Patreon, there are no new people. Nobody fell for it. No one took the bait. He didn't get another £10 in. He hasn't got another, like, the TikTok money that he paid out to get the fake views is accounted and amassed for nothing. Like, it's added up to nothing. He's got nothing in return. So he then arrives on his, Angry Alan arrives. Big ups, Jess. Thank you for the gifted memberships.
High heels on my tippies. Dough, say and Gabbana, that's on my tippies.
Torchy the battery boy.
Thank you for the gifted membership. So Alan has now arrived on his Patreon to, in theory, I don't know, hit back. I think he feels quite deflated. He realises, like, he's a narcissist and he's in denial all the time. But sometimes before the denial kicks in, you have the reality that you then have to deny. And I think he's had a hard slap of reality, but he's jumped straight back into fantasy world with the fake TikTok views and the I'm a big chuffer, and now he's going to jump back onto Patreon to get support from all his ladies. So let's see it go. If this relaxing video game music in the background is too relaxing and loud, we might have to just bin it off, because Alan is quiet and I might have to boost him. When he's small in the corner, I'm going to make him big like that. But it's hard. Ooh.
And I am the armchair.
Somebody sent tippies. Can we have a now hold in Lorraine, please? XXX.
We can have a hold on, Lorraine.
Super Chuffer owes 3 hugs.
I only check the Alan buttons.
It's raining again.
Now hold
Sharon
on,
Wilkinson
Lorraine.
sent tippies. Scotty and Coffee.
Big ups.
Super Chuffer owes 3
She
hugs.
keeps giving me that look. Thank you very much, Scotty and Coffee. We can have
Now
another one of
hold
them.
on, Lorraine. Now hold on, Lorraine.
This one's my favourite at the moment.
Lega and fearless, we came to take round.
Follow ladies, I want ladies, super ladies.
하나, 둘, 셋.
Detective. My name's Alan. I am the armchair detective. It's a cross between the Truman Show and the Hunger Games. That's right.
So he starts by playing the awful intro, yeah? And he's head down. Actually, I might change the colours on this so that you can see him a bit clearer, because he's very, very muddy and small.
they think they're untouchables.
About it all. I might just see if I can get a slightly clearer copy on this, actually. Just give me a second. You can see him feeling not happy, I think. Like, he's bobbing along to the music and stuff, but like, does he like, he knows in his heart of hearts he's just paid for a load of fake viewers on TikTok and that nobody's come over to watch his Patreon, so... Like, and he has to sit through this idiot intro that he knows is an idiot intro as well. Like, we all know it's an idiot intro. Playing my music as well, so I don't get copyrights. Is his any better? Right. Is this any better? This is the question.
I am the armchair detective. My name's Alan. I am the armchair detective.
Is this any better?
It's a cross between the Truman Show and the Hunger Games.
It's only slightly better, but it's slightly better, isn't it?
I'm a
Happy day,
human
Santa
being.
Claus. Can I have Adidadidad? Super Chuffer owes 3 hugs.
You certainly can. Thank you very much. And then what happens is it sort of starts again all of a sudden. So the music's playing again, but what are you doing, Alan? Did you just start it again? I don't. Obviously, we don't want the music, do we? But like, did you just start it again? Are you all right? And I think what's happening is he's talking to people on the Facebook chat or something, or like he's messing about. Like he's cleaning his glasses, he's listening to the music. He's not ready. Like he's not up for it. Like he's getting his phone together. At least that's what I think's happening. But I also think, from what I've been led to understand, is that don't worry, we're all good. We're all good.
Jojo
Big ups,
Cretin
Jojo.
sent peas.
You cretin.
Scott need a cretin button.
I do need a cretin button.
Super Chuffer owes 3 hugs.
Thank you very much.
I know it's childish.
I do need a cretin button for the mega cretin, the uber cretin. I think that he was expecting more people to turn up and show up and be in his chat, because didn't he have some sort of, you can tell me in my chat, you know, you can tell me about my head, didn't he have some sort of technical issue with his stream, and didn't he sort of set up a live stream and then set up another one because the first one didn't work properly, like the link didn't work or something, and so his chat were chatting. They, like, we haven't got, it doesn't record it on Rumble, but like they were in the chat saying hello Alan, you know, hello, you know, ready to go, and he wasn't seeing them, and he was waiting for them to start chatting. So there's this like extended intro sequence, and he must be thinking at this point nobody showed up, because later on he'd sort of talk, you know how he does his hello, is anyone in chat business, he starts that. So at this point he must be thinking, I'll just wait for them to show, I'll just play the music again, I'll just wait for them to show, and nobody is showing up, like 0. We're getting a nobody's. So is the anxiety rising? What's going on here? Still that. Touching the face. He's singing along to the song. He's trying to keep calm. Licking the lips. nodding their head. He's just so, you know, bear in mind, like I say, he's like Alan's gone through all this like emotional turmoil over the last and it makes me want to feel sympathy for him, because any normal person I would feel sympathy for, but then I have to remind myself this man is literally mid-grift. Like, if he just came out and said, I'm sorry, I've done something wrong, it was wrong, I'm sorry, then I could start feeling sympathy for him. But at this point, Alan is stressed. He's watched 4 hours of battery exhausted. He's done a very quick TikTok to sort of pretend that he's some big chuffer, that he's had to spend money to create. It's had no payoff whatsoever. He's worried that the ladies have discovered the grift, that the ladies have finally cottoned on. He's worried they just haven't even turned up at all, and that the TikTok itself has in some way nailed the coffin. He's worried that they don't care at all about this royal stuff, and they're annoyed that he started doing it. And he's worried that he's basically circling the gutter, circling the drain. He's always circling the gutter, but this time the drain. The drain. Enjoying your little sing-along. So this is, bear in mind, you pay for Patreon. We're now 2 minutes 30 seconds in. Bear in mind, you pay for Patreon. Oh, this is a good bit.
Without being scared of being sued by the parents of someone that's been murdered, send a
There he is.
through.
No, here he is.
All the people killed by Ted Bundy.
That's not
Can now
this.
see the people that wrote books about Ted Bundy.
Doody. I'll pause this one because this one's funny. No, I don't know why he does it to himself. Subscribe, scammer. I just want you to know we're you out on Patreon and Facebook too. Crooks like you. So if people are watching this and they're new, yeah, is this to encourage them to subscribe? Because it makes it look like you're being called a crook on the internet and a scammer? Or are you catching the scammers? Who should we subscribe to? What is this? Armchair, there is no hiding place. He needs to be removed. Truth is rock. That one had all hearts. Like, he's actually putting up nice messages from people who don't like him. It's fucking weird. He's had 3 strikes. Feel sorry. Like, this is like a list of, like, all these comments seem like normal, nice people. It's going really weird. Why have you done this? Please help me against this gang stalking group. Please help defend me against this. What? Thank you, Alan Vinicum, the armchair detective. But it is cropped off on his video as well. It's not just my video that's cropped off. It is cropped off at the edge on his video as well. And what do you mean, thank you? For what? Okay. Then this happens. This is, timer is ticking now. Look, bear in mind, the time is ticking. This isn't paused. Like, his stream isn't, I mean, he might be, but his stream isn't. You know, I said it's the worst patron ever and I wanted to react to it. Well, I should be guffawing and, wah, his stream's paused. But I was like, what? Look, the time's ticking, look. Alan's not, the time is. So, if you did have anyone new, and they'd paid £10 to watch this, they might be wanting their money back immediately. People can cancel their patrons. Alan, people can cancel their patrons. They should, shouldn't they? I mean, look at this. Oh. Time is running. Some points you feel sorry for him, yeah. Do you know what I mean? Like, this is one of those where, as a natural human being, as a normal human being, I look at this and feel a bit sad because of all the, like, hours of having a pop at him. However, you've got to remind yourself that he wasn't sad for anyone when they were down and he was kicking them. Like, that's not what was happening. The only reason you feel this sadness for this man, he deserves this. It's worse Like, he shouldn't be doing this on the internet. He doesn't have to, like, our contempt, our pity. Like, he doesn't have to be soliciting our sentiments. He doesn't have to do this. He's making this problem for himself.
I have no idea what happened there. All I can say is...
All you can say is, please talk into the microphone. I will now, and I'm playing sad music as well, so that probably doesn't help. I will now have to bin off the relaxing music, which I so enjoy, and just turn up Alan, because he can't turn himself up despite having a microphone in the room with him. So we'll see if we can combine the both. But
can you see me? Can you hear me?
You can see and hear him, can't you now? Yeah?
Wow. Guys, what's going on?
What's going on? What is going on?
You with me now?
And in his chat,
Ground control to Manger Tom.
this is the joke as well, right? His chat you can't see. Like, I didn't bother to, view and record and all that, his chat, but like his chat is I'm not saying anyone should, like, but I was watching at the time. His chat is basically saying, we're here, we can see you, you're singing David Bowie, and he can't see them. So 5 minutes in and he thinks no one's turned up, and he doesn't think necessarily that it's a glitch or he's done something wrong at his end. He's a narcissist, he's never done anything wrong. But what he probably... Hey. What? Well, I'm checking it. I'm here checking it. Excuse me. Oosh. How loud is this if I play this? It's quite loud for you now, isn't it, the background music? Natch. He's a narcissist. He doesn't think it's his fault. He doesn't think he's done something wrong. So he just assumes nobody's turned up. And it's because, at the start of these Rumble streams, people don't just turn up all the time, do they? Where's anaphylaxis? Big ups, AJ. Thank you very much for the super chat. You can have a button. What kind of button do you want? Should we try and find you a more positive button, eh? Than these horrible Allens. Should we try and find you a more positive Allen? Wait. I've got some nice ones, haven't I? What about this one?
Battery exhausted. I have no fucking clue what you're talking about or who you're talking to. That's the problem.
That wasn't as nice as I thought it was, actually.
Follow ladies.
You're going to have to tell me, in your sound mix, is the background music too loud?
Ground control to Manger Tom.
Manger Tom.
Can you hear me, Manger Tom?
The word manger is now interchangeable with major in Alan's brain, isn't it? Manger. That's not dyslexia, is it? That's just...
Here am I floating in my tin can, high above the sky. Anyone here? Hello?
Is there anyone there, Alan? Maybe the alien's there.
Hi, hello.
Is
Speak
there
to me.
anybody out there?
Even one of my long-lost spanners? Maybe one of them could speak to me?
Is there
Am I live? I guess no one's going to speak to me.
See?
Jesus. This is weird.
Bit of a panic now, eh?
Hello? Hello? Worst ever patron I've ever done.
There you go. Worst ever patron he's ever done. And do you know what? I've done streams to no one when I started. Do you know what you do? Is you don't do this messing about, do you? Certainly not if you're this far into your streaming career. If this is what you've got for us, is it, Alan? This is what you got for us. I noticed, I just paused the video at a random point. Look at his face, his neck. Like, he tells me that I fake those thumbnails to make him look bad. That's him. That's what he looks like. I've just paused it. I'm not doing that with Photoshop, yeah? Alan, for his patron has decided that he hasn't prepared anything. He hasn't really got any. Like, for £10, you can watch it later. Like, you're a patron member, isn't it? For £10, you can watch it later. So what he should do is he should switch on the patron and say, "Hi, my name's Alan, the Armchair Detective." But of course, you know that because you're subscribed to my patron. Tonight, we're going to be talking about this. Here is the research that I've done. This is what your £10 has bought you. This is why you support me. Like, I'm providing value. Not what he does. You know, like, he uses his patron as a sort of personal pity party, narcissist fuel group, doesn't he? So at this point, big ups Red Fan for the gifted memberships. Big ups. At this point, Alan, like, it's the worst patron he's ever done because he's not a content creator. Because he is bad. It is shit. And he's worried that no one's turned up. But why would anyone turn up? Like, why would anyone, Alan? Like, why do you actually, like, delude yourself into believing that this is ever going to... Like, in 2024, the way things are now, you had your little flash-in-the-pan bit of luck. You were a one-hit wonder, you know, and you had your little one hit. Everyone realised the truth. And now you're gone. Now you're done. So I'm paying more attention to my own appearance there than I am to Red Fan. Thank you, Red Fan, for the gifted memberships. And look at all of you cheeky chuffers that have got memberships. Look at all you greens in chat now. Lucky you.
Okay, alright. So thank you so much for that super trooper. Okay, alright.
Thank you very much.
Look out and fearless, we came to take one.
God.
God.
What a night.
And notice, it's a big smile. Isn't it? It's not an actual display of, like, true emotion. It's a big fake face. Let's keep the big... Oh, shit. Things are happening. Let's do a big fake smile. Shit. They can see me. Shit. But that quickly fades, doesn't it? Look. Confusion, disorientation. Notices the camera's on. The camera's been on the whole time, huh?
Anybody see me or hear me? Any spanner could say a word just to give me some help?
Help.
Maybe someone could say hello?
And so now what he's done is he's opened up another instance of his stream in another window so that he can watch himself on another window to confirm that he's live. And you can hear it resonating in the background.
Maybe not. Anyone there?
And the weird thing is, I say they are all there. There's like 5 of them. Literally 5 of them. And they are there, and they're in the chats. They really haven't got anything to say other than, "We are here. You have sung David Bowie." Like, no one really knows why they've turned up, to be honest. But here we are again. Big up Ed for the $4.99 super chat. Thank you very much.
I can say whatever the fuck I want, and you like it.
There's facts,
or you
there's
shut
reality.
the fuck up.
There's facts, there's reality, and then there's your
bullshit world.
Cheeseburger challenges.
Whistling. Hi, welcome to the stream. My name's Scott. Tonight I'll be... until like 4 or 5 people turn up, and I can then start. Obviously people are paying for this and they can watch it later, but who gives 2 shits? Like, let's just whistle for a bit. The worst patron ever. We're now 7 minutes in, and this is all that's happened.
I think I'm on Rumble.
You think you're on Rumble?
I don't know if I'm on Patreon.
You don't know if you're on Patreon?
No idea.
No idea. Alan's been running his Patreon for approximately 5 years now. He's been kicked off YouTube about 6 to 9 months ago, was it? 6 months ago. He's been on Rumble for about half a year. He has no idea.
I've lost contact with the world.
He's lost contact with the world. That's the truest thing I've ever heard.
So, like, you can see me?
Yeah.
We're back in action, are we? Let's see how relaxed I am and laid back. I don't care anymore. I'm not going to let my...
You don't care. Like, I can see you sweating.
My blood pressure go through the roof. So
He's not going to let his blood pressure go through the roof. So it's proof to us that he's not affected by the events of today. He didn't get wound up and cross when Super Chuffer dismantled everything he said in a 4-hour stream. He didn't really get him eggy when he constantly... I'm not going to even go there. If he wants to bring up his daughter, he can bring up his daughter and then I'll go there. But until he does, I'm not going to go there again. But that might have made him a bit eggy. I don't know. I don't imagine he's watching that. Well, I think he might be these days. He shouldn't. My content is intended not to call him an alarm and distress, but is intended for entertainment on our platform. But Alan's had 4 hours of that. It's obviously made him really, really cross, yeah? But he's not going to show it, huh? So that's fine. That's fine. You're sure you're not cross? You're sure you're not wound up? No, your blood pressure has not gone through the roof. And that's the most important thing, really, isn't it? When we're discussing creating content on your stream. Everything's fine. I didn't just have a tantrum. We are 8 minutes into a paid patron broadcast.
all right, I don't need a phone call. I don't need a phone call.
That's his phone going off now.
Right, you see me? We're back in action, are we? Let's see how relaxed I am and laid back. I don't care anymore. I'm not going to let my blood pressure go through the roof. It's all right, I don't need a phone call. I don't need a phone call. I don't need any phone calls.
Don't need any phone calls. You obviously did. They had to get you on Facebook Messenger to alert you to the fact that yes, you are live and yes, they are in chat. Don't need a phone call. They'll be calling in the, what do you call it, check, won't they? The welfare check next. Big ups, Brit. Thank you for becoming a member. Thank you very much for that.
But first, let's take time for ourselves.
That one's so loud.
But first, let's take time for ourselves. Let's pause and focus and relax our mind with a minute of mindfulness.
Got that mindfulness button so loud. Thank you very much. That's probably so loud because I've got the thing on, haven't I, for Alan, the filter. To make it louder. Sorry. You got a really loud button. Yeah, it does look like he's actually crying. I think he's got through rage to a point where he's really upset. And I think what upset him was that they might not have turned up and that it might all be over. And I think the reality's starting to sink in that it pretty much is over and that all he's got is this facade, this paper tissue thin facade that he's holding over the veil of, you know, he's holding this veil over his spanners and that's about it. And like, he has to deny things to himself first so he can then deny them to the world. And that self-denial, like that looking in the mirror, this watching what we do and seeing not just me but other people, the people from the past, the you know, all the 5-year history and all that. Well, now there's new people as well, Alan, isn't there? And do you know what will happen if you go on TikTok and start, you know, waggling your stuff around? Is there'll be even more people and there'll be TikTok people. And like, it's not just because someone's promoting them and trying to give them things from behind the scenes. It's because they see you and they react like this. Most people do. You're a lolcow now, Alan. You're a laughingstock on the internet, and he has to accept that. We shouldn't necessarily feel so sad for him. I'll tell you for why. It's because he wouldn't feel any sadness for anyone else. He's only feeling sadness for himself, and he's done these things to himself. And this is what happens when you do bad things, is you should feel shame and guilt and sad. But he doesn't feel those things fully. He's actually just sad. He's not getting enough money to go to Malta, and he wants a pity party.
I'm live.
And the pity is, this time, is that he really is a sad pity case. And the truth is probably that a couple of his spanners probably give him money just out of pity. Which is basically being a beggar, Alan is. Because they don't need to give him money. This is another really important point. He's had all the money. He's had thousands and thousands of pounds off the YouTube thing he's been doing. He's had 25 grand a year off Nancy for about like 3 to 4 years. Like, how much money does he need?
Wouldn't want to put that person on your screen.
What person?
I've got a girlfriend now. No, I haven't. I made that up.
What?
I've not had a girlfriend for 7 years.
Hang on. He's on his phone messing about.
Wouldn't want to put that person on your screen.
Wouldn't want to put that person on your screen, he says very nervously.
I've got a girlfriend now.
I've got a girlfriend now. And this is Alan. Random thought. Should I say that? Yes, I might. Okay, when you watch the Royal Family episodes, bear in mind that it's going to be after this one, the premiere after this one. Did he say in the last one that because his mouse didn't work, he felt like Christopher Reeve, paralysed? Like, you know, Alan just says things like, you know, they pop into his head and he just says them. There, whoever's on his phone is his new girlfriend, and he wouldn't want to show you that picture. What?
No, I haven't. I made that up.
No, you haven't. You made that up. No, you didn't. Obviously, they're not a proper girlfriend, but what you said was creepish and weird because you're falling apart, aren't you? You're having a bit of a mental day today. Like, it's a bit difficult for you to deal with the truth. So you're having a bit of a sad day, and things are just happening now.
I'm not had a girlfriend for 7 years, as you know.
No, for 7 years old.
As you know. Poor old man, all alone, all alone.
What about a little boyfriend? What's this? What's this? He's just been busted. Straight up busted. Who's on his phone? What's going on sex-wise, Alan? Boyfriend, girlfriend-wise? What do you mean you've not had a girlfriend for 7 years, but you've got one on your phone, but it's not your girlfriend? But, ooh, I'm a creepy little old man. Like, what are you doing? You know how we call you a nonce because of the things you do on the internet? Well, I've not seen anything that looks quite as strange and keep your kids away as this in quite a while. What are you doing? What are you doing? Tiptoe through the tulips. What is this? After 8 minutes of panic, you know, he spent 4 hours watching the Super Chuffer. He's done a big burst of half an hour of fake views on TikTok that came to nothing. He's jumped in here. He's flailing around. He's flailing around. This is strange behaviour. The phone goes.
Any phone calls?
I'm going to slow it
live.
down. I like it slow. I like it nice and slow. Especially when it's creepiest. Who are you talking to on the phone? Who's your girlfriend? Not a
Wouldn't
girlfriend.
want to put that person on your screen. I've got a girlfriend now. No, I haven't. Made that up. I've not had a girlfriend for 7 years, as you know.
Did the old touching in the face. Look at his face. Look at that. Look at the creepy bastard. When he was like, looking into it and he got the ping back. Something's going on here and it's creepiest.
As you know. Poor old man, all alone, all alone. I've got a girlfriend now. No, I haven't. Made that up. I've not had a girlfriend for 7 years, as you know. As you know. Poor old man, all alone, all alone.
So, if you did, bear in mind, if you did, bear in mind, if you did pay £10 to join Patreon, what is the cost of Patreon now? Is it more than a tenner? If you did, you come over from TikTok. This is what's happening.
Cheered up today. There was some good chat to my legal people.
Good chat to his legal people.
And luckily for me,
Lucky for you.
this Jeremy Vine case
Jeremy.
against
Right, number one, you don't have legal people.
Joe Barton.
Number two, the Jeremy Vine case. We
Knocking
talked
the hell
about
out
it
of
yesterday.
the case that the person's got against me.
It's knocking the hell out of Frankie Rusick's case. No, it's not.
Jeremy Vine was called and
What we're about to get is some grade A delusion, some self-gaslighting. Like, I think this is self-gaslighting at this point.
nonce on a bike.
Nonce on a
once
bike.
By Joey Barton.
Right, yeah. Joey Barton, your
He's getting taken
friend.
to court for it, Joey Barton, for saying it once, just writing it. I've had it said to me hours on end.
I've had it said to me for hours on end. Does that mean, Alan, that because you didn't have to watch hours of my stream yesterday, did you? It's not intended to cause you alarm and distress. It's for fun for our audience. You do stuff on the internet like this, and I go on the internet and talk about it. And you have sat there for hours on end listening to someone call you a nonce, and this is what you're up to. This is how you feel now.
Flipping Kate by trying to get this sorted out for you. And I'll tell you more about it next time I go live when I get the full information. But it seems that
You're live now.
there's a thing called
What full information? Your legal team didn't supply you with the full information.
and Jeremy Vine talked to us about it.
Jeremy
It's,
Vine talked to you about it.
a thing called guilty by proxy.
He's had to bin off the video because the video didn't work. Something was going on with the video. The video didn't work. It was during that time, right? He was trying to show you one of his TikTokies, which again, like if you come over from TikTok and you pay £10, do you going to want the man to show you one of his TikToks?
There's a thing called
You're more likely to want, like, he's more likely to show people his. Well, look,
and Jeremy Vine talked to us about it.
that didn't seem to
It's,
work. Though, look, he's lined it up. Maybe he's got it ready.
a thing called
He's decided not
guilty
to.
by proxy.
Let's leave that.
Guilty by proxy means if you're a public figure and you encourage people to. This is Jerry
McCann?
Vine's words.
Jeremy Vine. Someone's falling apart, aren't they? Someone's falling apart a bit, aren't they? Someone's not just having a bad day, they're having the bad day of all bad days, aren't they? He's not had a happy day, has he, Alan? And this is good because he's a massive, aggressive narcissist who bullies people all over the internet, and he deserves everything that gets to him. That comes to him.
He said he was stalked by proxy, where a public figure convinced people that he was this, that, and the other. And Jeremy Vine said that my solicitor
Jeremy Vine said that your solicitor
got Alex Bayfield in prison
got Alex Belfield in prison
because of guilt by proxy.
because of guilt by proxy. Or did you mean Jeremy Vine's solicitor? So Jeremy Vine's solicitor got Alex Belfield in prison because of guilt by proxy. Jeremy Vine said that. Apparently.
The person that's suing me has
Frankie Rusick.
built up 100 video channels hating me.
Right? They haven't built up 100 channels. And this is what I mean. Like, I think he's having to, like today, when he looked into, in between his viewing of Super Chuffer yesterday, battery exhausted, and jumping onto TikTok, like, I wasn't streaming. I didn't restream his TikTok. I didn't restream this. Yeah? I'm restreaming it now. I'm having a look at it now. But Curious Cat did, Trisha did, other people did. So Alan now has to realise that his spanners are probably working overtime behind the scenes and reporting back to him. There's other channels. There's this channel. They're watching over here. And he's keeping up with it. And he's thinking, well, Battery Exhausted's not doing anything tonight. He's done a big chunk. I've had to watch. I didn't have to watch that in any way. Like, he's thinking maybe this. But at the end of it, he's like, Battery Exhausted's not streaming tonight. But this is still happening. So there is no let up. Like, Battery Exhausted can take a day off. It still happen. Like, there's 100 channels built up. It's not because it's because 9 out of 10 cats prefer whiskers, Alan. It's because everybody doesn't like you because of who you are and what you do. You cause your own problems. You deserve this. So now you're reaping what you sow. And you can go on TikTok and expose yourself to 1 million children. Yeah? But what's going to happen is 99,000 or whatever, take 1 off a million, like a big number of people are going to end up not liking you even more, and they're going to be all TikTok people as well, and that's going to be worse, because you think it's Wild West on YouTube. Like, TikTok's a different generation. Imagine what they think of someone singing with kids on Smule. So,
and the worst one calls me a nonce, funny enough.
I'm the worst one.
Now, he thinks he's done nothing wrong, but it's guilt by proxy, because he...
It's not that I think I've done nothing wrong, Alan. It's that we've been to the police because you kicked up a big fuss, and the police have told me that I've done nothing wrong. My lawyers have confirmed that I've done nothing wrong. It's been no further action. You've been flagged as a problem person. Yeah? Delusion La La Land ensues here.
Establish this hate again.
I've got to let him cook. I've got to let him play a bit so that you get to hear him talk, and then I can, rewind it and then... But bear in mind, I'm itching to pick apart every little thing he says.
It's me called The Truthers. The Truthers invaded this new YouTuber a year ago. I won't even mention his name.
Why not?
And they filled him full of misinformation about me, right?
No, they didn't.
I saw them all in this chat. The hairdresser, the Norway guy, giving him information about I'm a sex offender and everything. And he swallowed it all.
No.
And he's made a living out of it by calling me a sex offender, right?
Right, obviously I found him singing with kids on Smule, and that's where this nonce stuff started for me. Yeah, is when I found him singing with kids on Smule. How many times do you want me to go over it? Like, it's obviously bugging him, yeah?
He's made hundreds of videos about me.
Hundreds.
Joey Barton did one Twitter saying nonce on a bike. Can you imagine the stuff my solicitor's got now of guilt by proxy by Junior? He's a public figure.
I don't know what you mean. Are you trying to suggest that Junior is such a public figure that I am being influenced by him to do what I do, therefore Junior is guilty of my supposed crimes? It's insanity, Alan. Jeremy Vine is fighting a court case with Joey Barton. You thought Joey Barton's good because he's a misogynist. It turns out now you're siding with Jeremy Vine. You're an idiot. None of that has anything to do with your life.
He's encouraged people to hate me. And like Jeremy Vine said... He's encouraged people to come and get me with a knife or a gun or call me a P and get my house burnt down. Guilt by proxy, and he's taking me to court for slander. This is fantastic news, my lawyer said. Fantastic news, because...
Listen, your lawyer didn't say anything because you don't have a lawyer, okay? You're not spending £300 an hour to go and listen to fantastic news. That's ridiculous, okay? Stop living in fantasy la la land. And the lawyer wouldn't say this because it's not. A lawyer would say, well, that's got nothing to do with our case. There's no such thing as like setting a precedent in the court of law in the UK for a different defamation case like this. Each case will be tried on its own merits. You're not making any sense.
You can use it as a precedent, see?
No, you can't. And all that stuff about a knife and a gun, like, what's he going on about?
Because...
like, where's he at with his head here? We are 11 minutes 30 into a paid patron. And this is what he's got for them.
He can't even deny that he knows all these people. The man from Norway, the stupid woman on benefits, there's in the bath, the hairdresser, the multiple channels that give this horrible man all this information.
So now I actually believe Alan is delusional now at this point. I really do. I think that he might have done some sort of like combination of tramadol and cocaine, and it has actually got to his brain, because like he thinks in some way like this is the problem with this. Okay, so he talks about gang stalking all the time. Yeah, he talks all the time about gang stalking. A quick search of the internet will show you this. If you search the internet and you type in Google gang stalking, right? Gang stalking is a set of persecutory beliefs in which those affected believe they're being followed, stalked and harassed by a large number of people. Okay, believe. And when I say it's persecutory beliefs, it's a kind of paranoia. It's a delusion. Like, it's known as a delusion. Gang stalking is not when somebody has lots of people stalking them. That's not what the terminology really means. Although, like, it can can happen. But in terms of the general psychology community, when people bring up the phrase gang stalking, it's quite often referred to this persecutory delusion. 128 self-defined victims of gang stalking, with a randomly selected group of 128 self-declared victims of stalking. All 128 victims were judged to be delusional, compared with only 5 victims of individual stalking. Like, it's hugely, that was a study in Australia, it's hugely known in the psychology circles that gang stalking is a persecutory delusion, and it's something that people suffer with when they enter drug psychosis. Like, narcotic psychosis will make you think that you're being gang stalked. You know, the people who get really high on coke and then they're out looking for Peter Folding out through the peephole. Like, Alan, at this pressure moment, right, as a narcissist, he's just been put into for some reason, I don't know why he feels particularly pressured by what we do this week, but he felt particularly pressured by that. He also is, I think it's financial behind the scenes. I think Malta's coming up. I think usually there's some sort of cycle to things, isn't there? Maybe this month's money wasn't what he hoped it was or something. Maybe someone cancelled their patron. Maybe Nancy didn't turn up enough. Whatever it was, right? I think that he's in a down ebb, a low ebb, and at the same time he's feeling a lot of pressure, and it's coming out. Possibly what a narcissist will do is they will lean on their addictions. I learned this when we did narcissism on this. So it's possible that he will be taking more, like, the things that he can do that he's addicted to that make him feel better. He could be taking more narcotics, he could be drinking more, he could be spending more money online gambling, but that would be difficult because then he'd lose all his money more quickly. He could be doing sex crimes, pushing people in a river. He could be singing with kids on Smule, like going over the edge into some weird stuff that gives him a sense of gratification and control. Like, whatever his urges and desires are that are his addictions and dark side, he's going to be going in to do that even more at this point, because he's in this downward ebb spiral. Like, instead of facing it and accepting that it's his own behaviour that's caused this and he has to accept it and face up to it, he's going to go hard delusion, hard denial, to the point where I think he's actually possibly psychotic. Like, narcissism is a form of heavy psychosis. Heavy, like, you deny and then you go through processes of denial. We did an episode about it on this, and eventually you end up in narcissism and this sort of thing. Like, it's a personality defect that's like long ingrained from way back, and it, like, so Alan receives information about the world, about reality, like he did today or yesterday, and he has to then like smash and mash it into something different in his brain first, so he can then try and gaslight you into thinking that's the way the world is. It's not grounded in reality, and this gang stalking thing is high delusion. And I used to think he was just saying it so that he could sort of paint me with that brush, tar me with that feathers, you know, tar me and feather me with that. Like, he's just one of those old people from that. The truth is, I've got nothing to do with Martin Dean. Martin comes in chat and is supportive. I've watched some of his content, the things that are true about Alan that I've cross-referenced. I don't just watch Martin Dean's channel and say, right, well, that's it then, Martin said it, I'm going to go with that. Like, I've cross-referenced lots of different things with lots of different people, and the things that I know to be true about Alan and his behaviour, I will say are true. You know, the things that I think are rumour, conjecture, or based in circumstantial evidence, I will say that. And like, there's no way in the world, like, it is a delusion to think that in some way me, 10-year YouTuber who's done ASMR channel, who's done streaming, who's done other stuff, like that I would in some way be colluding with Frankie Rusick and the Chris Watts people, because you know the truthers or whatever, over this. Out of nowhere, they just come to me, see me as a YouTuber doing Nicky Bully, and say, right, we're going to infect your channel in your mind. Like, it's ridiculous. It's totally ridiculous. But in some way, I used to think Alan's trying to spin that as a stupid story that stupid people might believe. But now I think he's stupid and he believes it, if you know what I mean. Like, it's a worry.
Lies about a person like me, because he will repeat it and build a network of hate. And now he's going to be famous.
What?
Nonce on a bike. That's not 1% of what he's done. And I'm going to use that against the client that's taken me to court for slander.
So you're going to use things that the police threw out? Like, you sent all those clips to the police and they just only showed me 2 clips. We've been through this. Go and watch the episode on Battery Exhausted, this channel. If you're watching this channel, you're not subscribed. Like, it's only pressing a thumb button. So I'm just going to quickly go and close the back door now, right? And you're going to press that thumb button. Yeah. Okay.
My lawyer said, fantastic news, because he can use it as a precedent, you see? Because he can't even deny that he knows all these people. The man from Norway, the stupid woman on benefits, there's in the bath, the hairdresser, the multiple channels that give this horrible man all this information. You don't tell nutters lies about a person like me, because he will repeat it and build a network of hate. And now he's going to be famous. Nonce on a bike. That's not 1% of what he's done.
No, Alan, the thing is, with Jeremy Vine had a photograph with Rolf Harris. So Joey Barton said, hey, you ride a bike, and there's a photograph of you with Rolf Harris. Nonce on a bike. Did you go on tandem? So he made a thing, yeah? And you sort of were on Joey's side about most stuff, but apparently not that now. With us, though, we discovered you singing with children on a karaoke app where they didn't have access to the VIP access. You had VIP access on a karaoke app, which is fucking weird in itself. Your avatar was a bunch of 3 burly men in a tropical country. Your name on it was John Bray. Like, you had a fake account, like, under someone else's name on a karaoke app that you were using behind the scenes to sing karaoke for your streams, but you were using it to make contact with children and sing and have private video rooms or public invite only video rooms that they were in. And then you had recordings of that, which somehow you managed to leave up. But I don't know how many other times you'd use that facility on that app or whatever. But apparently it was only the once, and you didn't do it, and there weren't kids, and you were singing it on your own, and they joined later. Except they couldn't join later because they're not VIPs. So, like, it was what's known as a collaboration room. Like, after all that, and then, like we said, like, so you want to bring this up again and do this again, but we did it yesterday and the day before, so I'm just going to refer people to the old episodes. But we've got the girls locked in the pub, the rumour of, we've got the admission that he searched the internet for child porn. I mean,
there is no child porn on the internet. I hate to warn you that. There is no child porn on the internet. I checked.
Like, what are you doing checking the internet? Isn't that the sort of thing someone would say, like, oh, what's this on your search history? Oh, it's because I was checking the internet. For what?
There is no child porn on the internet. I hate to warn you that. There is no child porn on the internet. I checked.
So with Jeremy Vine, he had a photo taken with Rolf Harris. With you, you've done all this other stuff. The escort agency, men, women, boys and girls. The inner knowledge of how paedophiles like to behave that you talk about on your channel. Having a known sex offender, like, convicted on your show. Like, encouraging people to send him a letter in prison. Like, Alan, you've got a litany of these things.
I'm going to use that against...
And you're going to use that litany of your own sex crime. Sexual deviance. Your online record of sexual deviance. Should we call it sexual deviance? Is the singing with kids on small sexual deviance? Or deviance? Should we just call it deviant behaviour? That's a really good coverall term for it. Your online slug trail of deviant behaviour, you're going to hand that over as your defence in a defamation case that has nothing to do with that at all. Are you okay? It's 12 minutes into your patron.
The client that's taken me to court for slander is fantastic news for me.
It's not fantastic news.
That boy. I thank him.
Boy?
Good luck with your channel, son. Good luck with your channel, son. Good luck with your channel, son. Good luck with your...
Sorry, that's so loud. My buttons are really loud because I've got Alan turned up on the filter. Boy, like, no. Okay. Alan, for crying out loud, you're bluffing. I wish we could play poker, sat down one-on-one, because I'd fleece you. You're bluffing. This is a bluff. You don't really think this. This is lies. There's no legal team saying how brilliant it is that Scott's called you a nonce on the internet, because now we can take that and show it to Frankie Rusick's lawyers, and that will end the... big ups, the obsoletist. We don't see eye to eye on everything, me and the obsoletist, but I appreciate other people's opinions, and I'm not banning people in chat because they don't agree with me on everything. The obsoletist can stay. I like your videos about some things. But it is that, isn't it? We've got an episode on this channel. Again, I keep referencing because there's a playlist on this channel, yeah? So get on the playlist. Go and find the one that says Angry Alan versus the porn industry. Because he said in his defence that he was just putting together a documentary and that he wanted to find out about these sort of things. When Mother Licks Cun Off Daughter's Face was caught in his Google history. I forgot to bring that one. Mother Licks Cun Off Daughter's Face. When that was caught on screen, he said he was doing research. And research is the same defence that gets you put in prison for being a nonce. Especially if you're in the BBC crowd, isn't it? Like that Chris Langham found out. Like, you can't research child stuff on the internet because you're not a proper journalist with any sort of... What you have to do is you have to go to the police and say, hey, I'm thinking of doing some research into this, so I'm going to be searching for some pretty bad stuff. So can I have a liaison officer with the police to help me out and guide me through this process? Because I don't want to be getting arrested. I'm a serious reporter. And Alan was just like, at home, Googling child porn. I mean, fucking hell. He admitted on the internet to doing that.
Nonce on a bike. That's not 1% of what he's done. And I'm going to use that against the client that's taken me to court for slander. It's fantastic news for me. I thank that boy. I thank him. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Alan. Thank you for what's been a year of fucking bizarre nonsense. Tomorrow, I'm going to be on That Being Said, which is a podcast that detracts Darkside Phil. Like, they've got a whole podcast. They will be pulling 1,000 people on a stream, unlike Alan. I'm being invited as a guest to talk about Darkside Phil stuff, really, because I do watch Darkside Phil stuff and talk about that as well. You know, it's not just Alan around here. But this channel that I'm on now, basically was just we talk about Odyssey being a warehouse, being like a storage dump. The channel that we're on now was basically a storage dump for me for just bits and pieces. And I'd thrown up a bit and stuff, and you know, I was streaming on Super Chuffer, it was the main channel. And then I had to have somewhere to talk about your nonsense, so I just threw it up on Battery Exhausted. You resurrected the channel for me.
Body Sculpture sent tippies.
Thank you.
Another good show, Scott. I hope he comes over to Twitter. I will name and shame him and nonce him off. He is going to start grifting hard now for his poker money.
Yeah.
We all need to name and shame him whilst he is at the tournament, just like before.
I'm really considering going.
That was hilarious. Super Chuffer owes 5 hugs.
Like, do you think if I get my ticket first and put it on the internet and show everyone the hotel, yeah, do you think then if he comes to the hotel I can call the police and say that he's stalking me? Because I'm not afraid to show the hotel that I'm staying at on the internet. Do you think if he turns up, I'll say he's stalking me? If only Alan could ride a bike, he would also be a nonce on a bike. What was I fucking saying?
It's not 1% of what he's done. And I'm going to use that against the client that's taken me to court for slander. It's fantastic news for me.
Oh, he was thanking you, wasn't he?
Thank that boy.
Thank this boy. Thank you for thanking this boy. He resurrected the channel effectively. People wanted to see me have a pop at Alan, me rip him apart, me take his bullshit apart. Like, they enjoyed watching it, so we put it on Battery Exhausted. I never still have not tainted Super Chuffer with discussions of this nonsense. Super Chuffer remains the proper channel. This is still the B-side, but for a B-side, for having a diverse portfolio of media that I make, like something different on the table. It's been quite fun actually this year. In the main, I mean, some of his streams have been really drab and really dire and hard to get through, and the trolling behind the scenes has been a bit sad, hasn't it really? But in the main, it's been a lot of fun. We've got a community, we have fun, we've got tippies. Yes, tippies. Like, you know, it's not more lucrative than Super Chuffer. Super Chuffer is my future on the internet in terms of my content creation, you know, where I want to improve and go somewhere. This is our fun. Like, I just turn on my computer, sometimes I play games, sometimes I talk about this nonsense. And I have to thank you, Alan, for providing this, for being a laughing stock on the internet. Thank you for being, like, in some ways I have to thank you just for being you. Because without your participation in this, without you being a clown, an internet clown, a lol cow, they call it, because it's milk them for laughs, a lol cow, and you deserve everything because you're the best kind of lol cow, I think, worst, best, I don't know. One that's immoral and bad and has made their own bed and now they have to lie in it. One that's done grifting and lying and like abuse and all these horrible things, you know. So you're reaping what you sow. Everyone likes laughing at it. Thank you for providing the the fuel for what I do is I react and I add value. So everyone does the react differently. There's lots of people that react and do that, Alan. What you do, Alan, is you're on your own Patreon where you've charged £10. You're 12 minutes in. There is no value. You have no value. You read the news. You regurgitate someone else's writing in a script. You steal content from other people's websites. You steal content from other people's vlogs. You steal content from other people's blogs. You steal content from the mainstream media. You steal videos from YouTube. You just present that all as like a collage, as if it's like stuff. You read the newspaper. You're effectively just reading the newspaper to people online. That's a cover for a grift. You have no value. There's no point to it other than what we do here. So thank you for providing your end of that. If you want to, like I say, I keep saying it, he's going to reach a point, low ebb here. If he wants to go to Malta and play poker in the future, we could have earned that Malta money by now, Alan. If we'd have done 3 or 4 streams, you and me, combative, debatey, I made up a word, but having a bit of banter and all that, everyone knows that we don't get on. We could have earned that money by now, double. People would turn up and pay to see it. It would be an event. And we could do it how in Top Gear, I keep saying Top Gear, they don't always get on, do they? Jeremy and Richard Hammond, they painted his car funny and pushed it off a cliff. But it creates comedy and interesting and, obviously we're not going to be driving around the Sahara, but just starting off with a few streams. And I want to do an interview. I want to do the Jeremy Paxman hard-hitting interview. And Scotty asks questions and Alan answers them. And then we move on. And it's only a thing. It's only talking on the internet, for crying out loud. And you can get paid really heavily if it goes really well, can't you? But you can't get... In Alan's world, if he wants to make any money on the internet, I am the option. I've got the offer. We can discuss it. If we can make it work, I can actually offer a serious amount of money if we can make it work, yeah? But at the moment, he can't even... I've offered the olive branch. He can't even do the first thing, which is just to do a trial run, an interesting, couple of streams, an interview. He can't even get the thing going. I suppose that's his problem in a lot of departments, isn't it? But I'm the only option now, Alan. I'm the only dance in town because you're not going to provide... Your spanners are not going to provide. Nancy's going to peter off and go on. There's loads of other YouTubers that are taking Nancy's eye at the moment. Really, Alan, I'm the only dance in town for growth, for long-term future on... when I say long-term, I know you haven't got that long-term, but, for long-term future, for growth on the internet, for doing something that can provide some, oh, wow, look at that, this is happening, event. And you get to answer me back. You'd be on there saying things to me. It's not all one way, is it? This is all one way, isn't it, Alan? You don't like that. It's all one way. Well, you could say things back. I don't know why it's such a hard reach for him to just get his head around. Getting paid, making content, doing something a bit different from the true crime, having fun. Bizarre that you won't do it.
I thank him. Thank you very much.
But he's thanking me, son. And I believe him, don't I, Alan? I believe you here that you really are thanking me because you really do think that it was great that I called you a nonce. Yeah, this isn't a bluff, is it, Alan? No.
Thank you for rescuing my case. There's no way that man can win a slander case against me now. With the guilt by proxy he's built up as a public figure, with the help of these trolls that admitted that they helped him. And I've got loads of conversations of them talking to each other. Guilt by proxy.
Got it. Done. Solved.
Yeah, he's taking me to court.
Alan solved the case of his problem lawsuit. Nancy Drew solves the case of the problem lawsuit. Solved. Guilt by proxy. I watched Jeremy Vine on the radio and the tellis. I didn't realise I was stumbling into the... it was the night of the 14th and I was watching Jeremy Vine on the tellis. It was the night of the 14th and I was watching Jeremy Vine on a banned YouTube account. On a pirated YouTube account. I never realised that I was going to be finding out the key to solve my own court case. Jeremy had it. It's guilt by proxy. All I needed now is to work Dean and the others into one big conspiracy, and I could take the whole thing down. My name's Angry Alan. I am the armchair detective, and when you can get me up off my armchair, I will be solving this case. Oh my God. Did you... Guilt by proxy. That means everyone's guilty. We're done. Take it to court. Take me to court. Guilt by proxy, Your Honour. That was what I wanted to say all these months. Your Honour, I call to the stand Jeremy Vine.
For slander, and I've never slandered him. It's dead in the water, guys. And I thank that boy.
Is there any possibility that Cohen Davis would take a slander case with no evidence of slander? Is there any possibility in the world that they would look through those hours of footage and say, well, there's nothing here, but if you want to give us the 60 grand, we can certainly progress. And then at the end of it, for all the other lawyers in town to say, oh, that Cohen Davis, you know, they took that money off that poor family and there was no evidence. No. They're going to have a case. That's why you're going to court. Like I say, tonight's episode is sponsored by, like, full psychotic delusion.
Been out of calling me a nonce. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
He's just trying so hard to, like, he doesn't know what to do. He's caught in a weird world, isn't he? Like, he's trying so hard just to not look angry. We know he's furious. He's pretending lies. He's gone full delusion with the spanners, with his thing. Like, I've had 1,000 on TikTok. It's incredible. This is his worst. I've got to stop pausing it. I've got to let it roll a bit. Sorry, but this is his worst. This is his worst. He looks like he's fraying at the edges. He looks like he's flapping in the wind like a I've already said flapping in the wind analogies before. Trousers, torn trousers, flapping in the wind like a condom on a bush. Like, he's just, ugh.
I don't know what's going to happen to you, Mind, because Jeremy Vine is suing Joey Barton for saying it once. Imagine what I can do to this bloke.
Imagine what you can do to me or Frankie Rusick because Jeremy Vine is suing Joey Barton. What can you do? Maybe you should call Jeremy Vine. He does a calling show on the radio, doesn't he? Maybe we should have me on one side of the phone, and you on the other, on Jeremy Vine in the morning. Jeremy Vine at 12 o'clock. Today we're doing the travel. It's Jeremy Vine. Hi, you're through Jeremy Vine. How does his voice go? Well, it's doing the travel, and it's Jeremy Vine, and I could probably do his voice with a bit of practice. Anyway, I don't need to do his voice. What I need to do is carry on with this and stop losing my mind, like Alan has.
Legally.
Legally blonde.
I know he's got no money.
Legally
There's other
bald.
things I can do. This is fantastic news. Well done, the truthers.
Well done.
You better report it to your client in North Carolina that he's sunk.
Better report that.
Anyway, let's leave that to one side. I'll tell you more about it.
Anyway. Let's leave that to one side.
But for now, let's just celebrate that fact. Celebrate.
Celebrate.
Jeremy Vine.
Be so fine.
Help me no end.
Jeremy Vine's helped me out.
No end.
No end.
YouTube's full of trolls. And they don't even know they're trolls. They really don't. They don't think they're trolls because I'm dehumanized, right?
Alan,
it doesn't matter.
Alan, oh, I pressed the button. Whoops.
Great. I'll tell you more about it next time I go live when I get the full information. But it seems that talking people with this time, what they say about UAD, no end.
We don't.
YouTube's full of trolls.
We don't know we're trolls,
and they don't even know they're trolls. They really don't. They don't think they're trolls because I'm dehumanized.
Because he's dehumanized. We've never gone on a dehumanization campaign against Alan. Okay? That's never happened. But Alan has gone on a dehumanizing campaign. Well, what Alan does through his work, when he exposed it with the Jeremy Vine one in yesterday's episode, we heard Jeremy Vine. I've got to get that interview and have a good listen to it because Jeremy breaks down the way people like Alan work. And he doesn't care who he dehumanizes along the way. He doesn't care who he victimizes along the way, as long as his campaign rampage of hate and stirring people up gets results on the internet. Well, it doesn't now, Alan. You're gone. You're dust. But we're not dehumanizing you.
Right?
You
Doesn't matter.
dehumanized all of the immigrants in your recent episodes. You dehumanized all the Muslims.
Doesn't matter what they say about UAD.
Look how
You've made
angry he
their
is.
life a
See, look, what's happened is here, look, right? He's tried to hold that in for ages. He's moved on to his TikTok bit now. We're on to the TikTok bit. But in the little corner, in the little window, oh, he's furious. Oh, he's mad.
YouTube's full of trolls, and they don't even know they're trolls. They really don't. They don't think they're trolls because I'm dehumanized, right? It doesn't matter. Doesn't matter what they say about UAD. You've made their life a misery for 3 years. No, I haven't. I just talked about a case where, listen, if you had, right,
Listen.
all those people that are protesting in the streets of London about
Right.
Palestine,
Yeah. Those
Do you
all
think
those
that-
people that you dehumanized recently on your stream. Yeah, go ahead.
they're going to stop. If you say, please stop, they're going to say, no, we have a mission. We're not ever going to stop. And I'm never going to stop saying that NK needs to be questioned. It's a
Right? But the other day you literally said to me, can you please stop trolling me on the internet?
mission. It's not something that I'm torturing people with. It's my truth. My truth is that Kashida needs talking to.
Right? Alan,
People
do you know
that-
what tortures me? Is that someone might accidentally stumble into a TikTok stream of a man talking about some sort of stuff, true crime adjacent, whatever. It's you, and they think, oh, this is interesting because I'm not really paying attention. I've got a few extra quid. I might sign up to the Patreon, and they in some way enter into your sad world. Like, I worry they might have kids that are on TikTok. I worry you might be talking to kids on TikTok. You know, there's all sorts of things that make me eggy about your behaviour. That, like, they're talking to kids on TikTok is quite a big one, actually. But it's got nothing to do with anything, these stuff you're talking about. And you just sat through 4.5 hours of me ripping you, and I pointed it out very clearly. So why are we back to this?
The protest in Gaza is that they want something done about Gaza. They won't stop because it's torturing a Jew school that's up the road. They're not concerned with that. They're concerned with justice for Gaza. They're going to say, no, we have a mission. We're not ever going to stop. And I'm never going to stop saying that NK...
So Alan's, so now what it is Alan is being persecuted in the same way as Jewish people are. I'm getting a bit confused.
needs to be questioned. It's a mission. It's not something that I'm torturing people with. It's my truth. My truth is that Kashida needs talking to. People that protest in Gaza is that they want something done about Gaza. They won't stop because it's torturing a Jew school that's up the road.
And
They're
Alan,
not
you
gonna-
can't just change the like. This is the weird thing about this narcissistic, delusional stuff, right? This denial is that I think he actually is in denial. So in his like worldview, he's not tortured these people over all these years and done any of this bad stuff because he's changed it in his brain. He's retconned the past. He's changed the story in the past. That's it. It's changed. But if you don't understand that it's changed, you're just going to have to fucking learn that it's changed. Because the past is not what it's gaslighting on a very grand scale. This, like, everyone else knows the truth, but Alan will not admit it.
concerned with that. They're concerned with justice for Gaza. I'm concerned with justice for the murdered people in the Watts case.
No, you're not.
I'm not slandering anyone.
Yes,
I
you
just
have.
want justice. And that's why I've been doing it for 5 years. Not because I want to torment somebody, because I want the frigging truth. I've
Right.
never heard or
But also, right, isn't this a weird idea, right? In true crime, like, maybe people feel differently about this, but what tends to happen... Why is it turned into top chat instead of live chat? That's a bit annoying. I'm supposed to have live chat. Thank you. In true crime, you're not going to get the truth. Like, you're not going to get Jerry McCann, like, on a truth serum wired up to a... Like, you know, do you know what I mean? Like, Jerry McCann's going to say what he says and he's going to say whatever. Like... They're going to take that to their grave most likely, and we're all going to have our ideas and our thoughts, and that's what it is. And at some point you have to accept it and move on, or you could talk about it forever. Like, Alan, you are not going to force the hand of the DA in Wisconsin to reopen the Chris Watts case and drag Nicole Kessinger in for further questioning. It is not going to happen. So now that you know that, Like, I would have thought you would have realised it early on, but for some reason, you're now creating this, again, very, very strange delusion that in some way, in America, in Wisconsin, they're going to open up a closed murder case in order to implicate somebody who's already been, in inverted commas, investigated. She's had 2 interviews. It's delusion, isn't it? It's delusion. So with most of these true crime cases that are a bit mysterious, you make your videos about them, you accept there's never going to be any kind of real factual on the table. You know, not John Bennett Ramsey's parents are not going to show you the CCTV and whatever. So, like, not because there wasn't any, but you know what I mean? Like, but like, you're not going to get that. So you talk about it for a bit, you do like 3 or 4 episodes, and then you move on. And if you don't, and I'd say all these true crime channels on the internet that exist, they all do the same thing anyway. Like, I've even done some of it myself. I mean, I did Madeleine McCann for a bit. Like, you take on the topic, and there's like some big topics, aren't there? Like Chris Watts. Lots of people have asked me to cover Chris Watts. There's like, you know, some big topics. So a lot of channels can say similar sort of stuff about similar sort of true crimes. Like, they're not getting to some new truths and stuff like that. It's just a sort of entertainment genre on the internet. So just let it go. It doesn't go that deep. But if you think you really are a detective and you really are going to change and all this, then you're delusional. If you'd wanted to do that with your life, you could have done that. But instead of spending your whole life fighting crime on the side of the police, you spent your whole life running away from the police and hiding from things whilst doing crimes. And now you think you're a criminal-brained mastermind who can see the crime as it happens because you think like a criminal. But you're afraid to say that on the internet, so instead you pretend to be a detective, Mr. Conman. You're losing your mind. And this has gone on too long. It's time to put it down. It's not getting you anywhere. It doesn't help you with anything. You're not helping anyone with anything. So you should have apologised to the Ruseks a long time ago and done, at the first opportunity to negotiate on that court case, you should have said, yes, I'm open to negotiation. I'm guilty. I'm sorry I did it. What do you want me to do? I'll be sorry. You know, this is ruining my life. But instead, you've driven yourself down this like ever narrowing pipe.
Made a hate video in my life. I just want a question. And yet the other side calls me Vinny Scum, tells them to phone me in the middle of the night, made me move house 2 or 3 times. This is great for my case. This boy on YouTube, keep going every night. Keep calling me those names every night.
Thank you for your approval of what we do here.
Kate and William.
Releasing a film.
Does anyone believe that he really meant that?
Along with another magazine of
even Alan,
well, taken by somebody from a car, of the couple shopping in a farm shop.
So now we've got
last weekend
TikTok going on, yeah.
After they were watching their children take part in sports, I don't know where, all in Windsor.
Coffee.
And there it is, Windsor. There is a Windsor farm.
He's
shop.
on his phone. Look,
Kate was happy, relaxed, and healthy. Everyone was stunned to see the couple, but no one took their pictures or asked them for a selfie.
And he does not look happy, does he? He does not look
fact,
happy.
No one went up to him and took a picture.
He does not look happy. I think he's messing around on his phone. Who's he talking to? Who's his new girlfriend? Remember that?
Film taken from a car from a distance. That's all we've got. Took it from his car.
So I'll just skip a bit of this because Alan's on the phone. Like, if you go, bear in mind as well, right? This is his Patreon. No wonder it is the worst one ever. No wonder it's the worst one ever. If you go on Patreon, you pay for content, and then he's on his phone while he plays you his TikTok. And you've come from TikTok, and the TikToks are on TikTok. Like, what are you doing? Like, what's even happening? Like, how is this acceptable?
So, again, controversial as there's no actual photographs.
No one cares. Not even Alan. Not even Alan. He doesn't even care about what's going on his stream.
Everybody knows about her wish to remain private, but no one decided to invade their privacy. It does, in my opinion, it's them. Remember, they live just a few miles away from Road.
So,
not Kate.
So
the thing is, all they had to do was take one picture of them at the farm shop. It would have been hard, wouldn't it? A selfie with one of the staff, anything. But no, they do this grainy thing where no one believes it's Kate. And even if it is, they've done more harm than good, right? There's no point releasing this grainy picture because it's just made more controversy. All they have to do is make a 1-minute video. If she's well enough to troops around farm shops and school sports days and cameos every back and more or less sprints around beaming, surely she can make a 1-minute video with her husband saying, I'm getting over this now, help me back at Easter and all that. That's what they got to do, guys, and I want them to do it. I want them to do it because at the moment it's terrible. It's got to such a stage now that
Guys, the people in his chat don't care about this.
people are trying to hack medical records. Now, I know people that work in hospitals, and a friend of mine hacked, who should I say? The Prime Minister's records when he had COVID. And
Who should I say? Hang on, Alan. Talking about the worst patron ever. What's this you just said?
around beaming. Surely she can make a 1 minute video with her husband saying, I'm getting over this now, I hope you're back at Easter and all that. That's what they got to do, guys, and I want them to do it. I want them to do it because at the moment it's terrible. It's got to such a stage now that people are trying to hack medical records. Now, I know people that work in hospitals, and a friend of mine hacked, who should I say? The Prime Minister's records when he had COVID, and he never had COVID, and they told me. So every hospital has got...
Your friend hacked, who should I say? The Prime Minister's records when he was at hospital, and he never had COVID. Your Honour, objection hearsay. Objection hearsay. Alan's now, you know how I'm saying he's desperate? The theme of today is his desperation. He's so desperate, he's turning to making up lies off the cuff, during his patron. To try, because he thinks there might be someone from TikTok that's come here for this secret knowledge that he told the people on TikTok, come over to Patreon, I've got secret knowledge that I can't tell you on TikTok. Now he's just making up lies. This has gone right back. We've gone all round, big circle. This is what you used to do with the Chris Watts thing. You used to come on Patreon and tell lies. Come full circle. Now we're telling lies about Kate Middleton.
Access.
And your friend who's got access to everybody's medical records, having hacked the computers at the doctors, so they were able to hack the Prime Minister's medical records and find out that they didn't have COVID.
To Kate Middleton's medical records. Every hospital's got it. Did you know that? It only takes one member of staff to look at the computer. You've got to hack it. All it is, a member of staff to look up on the computer Kate Middleton, and they will get the whole thing. That's how lax it is in hospitals. I promise you, that's the truth. I know.
So why aren't we flooded with medical professionals whistleblowing on her? Like, why aren't we getting all that information flooding around the media?
Somebody that works in one. It's actually what they can do.
That's what they can.
The Sky News is saying that Kate's medical records have been hacked. Doesn't need hacking, just needs looking at. But no one's telling us what they say. They're saying they've been hacked, but they're not telling us what it says. So until someone tells me, I don't know what's wrong with her. I have no idea what's wrong with her.
Why don't you get your friend to tell you? Why don't you get them to hack it? They hacked the Prime Minister.
I do know that she's fit as a fiddle. If that was her, last Saturday in the farm shop, she's fit, man. Why is she hiding?
She's well fit.
You decide, public of the country, of the world, Kate or not. I say it is. My opinion, as the armchair detective.
His opinion, as the armchair detective, is that this is Kate at the farm shop. This is a TikTok he's done. Now listen, let me tell you something about TikTok. You all know it goes past pretty quick, doesn't it? It's a swipey quick, it's a short, it's a quick, it's gone. Like, Alan does 4-minute TikToks. No one in the world will watch a 4-minute TikTok. So your metrics, like if I do a 10-second TikTok and someone watches 5 seconds of it before they skip, they watched half of it. If I do a 5-minute TikTok and someone watches 5 seconds and then skips, they've watched 0.5% of it or whatever. So your metrics are done, they're finished, they're over. In terms of sharing your video to more people, the algorithm that TikTok uses is, do people watch the whole thing and do they watch it again? Do they share it? If those boxes are ticked, then they'll share it out to more people. It will come up in their feed, you know, and all that. If people skip past very quickly on a percentage of the video, because all the videos are different lengths, aren't they? So you can't really say, like, you know, so they give it a bit of a percentage maybe, or it might be literally the number of seconds. But if people do not, I don't think it's literally the number of seconds though, because otherwise TikToks would be really long, because all the best TikToks would be the ones that people watch for a long time. So they'd be really long. I think TikToks, they want them to watch them again and again and them to be short. So doing a 4-minute TikTok will kill your algorithm for TikTok. It will kill it. It cannot succeed. And Alan is using this TikTok that he's published on TikTok in his Patreon to sell for more money so he can just watch it to have something to say. And he's saying, bear in mind, this is the critical point, I suppose, because it's going to come back to bite him later, because he's losing his mind. He's not able to even run a 40-minute YouTube show. He thinks that this is Kate. He's saying it is. He's saying, Armchair Detective's opinion, the cheekbones, the smile, everything, that is Kate.
Who spends his life comparing CCTV and things like that. I see the features that see it, sir. I do.
Just on that, I asked my doctor for my medical records because if I'm getting taken to court, I want them to know that I suffer from anxiety and what they're doing to me. So I went to my doctor and they just looked it up and they got all my results from Weston-super-Mare, from London, from Exeter where I lived, and they've got it all on their computers.
So because Alan's doctor was able to look up his medical records, Alan thinks that his doctor has access to everybody's medical records all over the country, including Kate Middleton's and people of national security level interest.
I guarantee you that her whole life is on the computer of every hospital in Great Britain.
Drawings, and if I was to draw a face, the main features would be the cheekbones, the smile, the hair parting, and the ear. Those things, as a caricature, as a cartoon, those are the things you look for, the features.
And it's interesting because Alan is there parroting the voice of the mainstream press, which published things to basically say, oh, the TikTokers all think that she's not there in that picture, but they're idiots. This is definitely her. So we're shutting that down. So Alan's now mainstream press mouthpiece. Like, the stupid thing about this that you can't get my head around as well, like, Alan's made a video for TikTok. He's 3 days late on the trend of what this video is about, okay? But he's made the video for TikTok. He's using information that he's found on TikTok, which is conspiracy, to make a video for TikTok. So people on TikTok have already seen that. It's like he's late and he's editing it together. And then he's going to parrot the ideas of the mainstream press, which the people on TikTok don't agree with. That's why they're all talking about it. He's going to talk and say he doesn't know which side of the argument he's on again. He doesn't know which foot he's supposed to be, you know, which he doesn't know which opinion is supposed to be the right or popular one. So he doesn't understand what he's supposed to be doing here in terms of appealing to an audience, making up bullshit. He's getting it so wrong, and he's then packaging that up and saying, pay me £10, you can watch it on Rumble.
The features.
So you know I do drawings and I pick up the features. If we look at the features, cheekbones, right? These are classic cheekbones.
Because Alan paints those paintings, Alan is now an expert on this.
Nose. A hair where it's parted, look. Big ear.
And,
sorry, Kate, you've got a big ear. On that? Yeah, it could be Kate. It's got
right, and that's all the stuff I said about when we were looking at Nicola Bulley's CCTV. I was analysing her hairline, you know, the cheekbones, whether she looked like Emma or not. Feels like he's learned something off someone, huh?
got the features, right? On the other hand, she looks about 16.
Oh, you like
The
that?
deficit side, she looks about 16. Now, as you know, I'm down the middle. I'm not trying to debunk it or prove it. I'm just
No, you said that this was definitely her.
showing you what there is.
Of these two pictures are exactly the same. This is Kate Middleton.
You just said you're not trying to debunk it or anything. Now you're saying that it's exactly the same.
But some of you say, no, it's someone else.
It's like he doesn't know
Take
what's
it
in his.
closer.
It's like he doesn't know what's in his own video.
Look, make a decision and vote for me, the armchair detective.
Vote for me.
Was Kate shopping last weekend at the Windsor farm shop?
Vote for me on TikTok.
I am the armchair.
This is the armchair detective doing a royalty check.
I am the out of nowhere. I am the armchair detective. Just self-brain massage. He needs another hit of that dopamine rush. So I am the armchair detective.
And vote for me,
I am
the armchair detective. Was Kate shopping last weekend at the Windsor farm shop?
I am the armchair.
This is the armchair detective doing a royalty check. Conspiracies are going to be debunked and looked at,
and
or not.
I'm
here as a neutral.
I'm going to show you the Kate Spiracies episode after this. I'll drop it as a premiere after this. I wanted to drop it a bit earlier, but we're going on a bit long, aren't we now? How long am I on now? These 8-hour lives. It's just how it goes, isn't it? We're up for 2 hours now. I wanted to be finishing now. We're halfway through.
I'm not being pro-royal or anti-royal. I'm just looking at the metadata.
Metadata?
And coming up with my dyslexic ideas.
What metadata have you seen?
They're great.
Even in his edit there, like, you see, I have to take every little bit of this apart, right? Because even in his edit there, it says, your chance to vote on the metadata AD shows. What metadata? Please explain to me what metadata is, Alan. You don't understand it. It's not just the things that are tagged to the photo. There's other ways of encrypting metadata, aren't there? It's not if someone puts a watermark. But yeah, you haven't seen any of the metadata for any of these photos, have you? How have you analysed the metadata? You don't have it.
That and proved or not. I'm here as a neutral.
And when someone gave you a video to show on your stream, you didn't analyse the metadata there. I had to do that for you.
I'm not being pro-royal or anti-royal.
When Maria Solas did the video, like, which was cool, like, but Alan took it and said, right, this is definitely that, absolutely. And I was like, well, you can see the metadata. You can get her to send you the metadata. Why didn't you do that? Verify it like a normal person would.
I'm just looking at the metadata.
The metadata.
And coming up with my dyslexic ideas.
Dyslexic ideas.
They're great people spreading lies on the internet.
On from that one then, this is what I've done today. I've been doing it all day today. I just have a look at many videos. I did 4 videos on TikTok today, and I did a live tonight. I had 1,500 people watching me tonight on TikTok. That is going some. 50, how many, AD? Oh, you're lying. No, 1,500 people watch me tonight on my live. Promise you. Today's videos so far, 3,000, 70,000, 100,000, 130,000.
Well, they've jumped up, didn't they, overnight? Because they weren't going. I remember looking at them the other day, and you were on like 1,000, 1,000, 1,000. TikTok's unpredictable, isn't it? The way you can suddenly jump from like nothing to everything to nothing to everything to nothing. Huh? That's a bit unpredictable, isn't it? It's almost like you're paying for views. Like, because this one's got 5,000, look, and then one next to it's got 50,000. So that's really weird, isn't it? Because people really like that one, and they just didn't like that one. That's probably what it is. Because these videos that literally, like down here, 1,400, 1,000, 8,000, they're not so important. Because they're not... This one, well, this one and this one, but not that one, and not that one, but this one and this... It's ridiculous, Alan. You're paying for views. You're stealing other people's content to make these TikToks for a start. None of it's really yours. And you're then paying for views to make yourself look good on TikTok. Because you're pathetic. This is really at a low ebb, like I said. A real low ebb.
130,000 views today on my videos. 130,000 views
and also,
today.
In TikTok world, Alan, you have to divide it by 1,000 to get the YouTube equivalent because they go by so quick. It's just a little thumb skip. Just because someone did that on your video doesn't mean you've had some great success. They just skip past it. The fact that you've had all those hundreds of thousands of views and you're talking to 10 people in your Patreon proves that they've seen your content and they think it's shit. And they're not coming back again and again.
We're back.
You're not back.
It annoys the hell out of the haters that I am so successful because I have a personality. Must dig him, eh? Oh, we hate him so much. If I'm so bad, how do I get 100,000 views in one day?
You just buy them on the internet. Like this. Look, it's this easy, right? I've never done it myself. It would ruin my stats and metrics for the actual growth I want to do on the channel, right? But look, I can just go Google by TikTok views, and look, there's loads of websites, and they do actually send you, like, they'll come from Malaysia or somewhere like that. Ask Peter Folding and Luke after they did their 100,000 on that episode, you know, and Luke did that post to say that he had all these strange views from Malaysia. You can just buy them, Alan, look, and I bet you do, don't you? From 4.29, look, you can just start at little potatoes, throw in £1 or 2 here and there. A cheap package for £1. Automatic likes, automatic views. It's fake. It's just glove puppets. It's bots. It doesn't make you any better. It doesn't, like, you think you're drawing a big crowd, you're proving to Melissa Marvelous how important you are, but to us it makes you look even more pathetic because it's obvious that you're doing it. So it's even more pathetic.
How did I do that? 100,000 views in one day? Yeah.
Well, you not have to be a detective to work that out. I'll tell you what's interesting, Alan, is how did you do it if you didn't buy it? Because suddenly you're more successful than a huge swathe of major true crime people, and not even just true crime, just TikTokers in general. On TikTok, of all places, you have suddenly shot to fame. No one knows who the fuck you are. No one cares about what you're saying. But suddenly what you're doing is shot to the top. Like, there's no social media buzz about it. You don't hear anyone posting or reposting. You've shot to the top just out of nowhere on your own with no like build, no climb, just from nothing, it's all going badly, to now it's brilliant. It's just impossible. Not impossible, but like improbable, and like the statistical graph of how your views go doesn't add up to how normal people's growth goes. What do you mean, how did you do it? You bought it for small potatoes to make yourself look like slightly bigger potatoes. It's pathetic.
Yes. Plus 1,500 people in my live watching me. 1,542 people watched my live tonight on TikTok.
Okay, and with a 10% click-through rate, you've got 150 new people. Where are they?
And I can prove it.
Where are the 150 new people?
100,000 people tuned into my videos today, and I can prove it. You can see for yourself.
100,000 people watched your video today, yeah? And the response from that on your Rumble account, where you direct people to go and subscribe, or your Patreon account, where you direct 100,000 people watched, and the response was no new subscribers. Like, how is this working, Alan? Are you going to start buying subscribers for Rumble next to make it all seem like it works? It's ridiculous. Stop being a silly ninny and just put it down. You're wasting your money.
So, yeah.
Well, you're not wasting your money. You're wasting Nancy's money and Melissa Marvelous's money.
Today, with the help of my solicitor today, and with the help of...
Alan, you don't have a solicitor.
Jeremy Vine.
Jeremy Vine is not helping you.
Help the haters are giving me on YouTube.
The haters are not helping you.
A lot more confident than I did last week.
Alan, you do not feel more confident. Everything else you said was a lie, and that last statement is equally a complete reversal of what you feel. You feel like you're at your lowest ebb, Alan. If you were watching this, which you're not, this is not intended to cause you alarm and distress, but this is the truth. You know it in your heart of hearts. You're at your lowest ebb. You see it on the records, you see it on the stats, you see it on the finances. You're at your lowest ebb. You're about to go through something with this court case which you don't know what's going to happen, and you're really worried about it. Like, things are really getting to you. You're waking up in the middle of the night, you can't sleep properly, you're drinking more heavily, you're taking these tramadols again probably, sniffy sniff, like, you're leading on all your bad behaviours. The people that are around you are finding you more difficult recently, aren't they? Your friends want to see you less, your family want to see you less. They've had enough of you now. You did your recent birthday thing, that's enough for a bit now. Like, you can't afford Malta, that's going to be a problem. The grift isn't working as well as it usually does on the ladies. You haven't got as much to say about anything really. No one really cares about hearing what you say. TikTok is really just a sock puppet to pretend that you're good. Odyssey's a stupid move, a really bizarre, strange move. You look like you're flailing around and things are going wrong. Everyone can see it. YouTube side of things, people are going on, having great success. Some people are talking Kessinger. You're not in that conversation. They're having great success. You're not part of it. No one gives you any credit for it because you don't deserve any. Like, you're a non-entity. We're having fun over here, ripping the piss out of you. I'm doing great on Super Chuffer, talking about that, like, true crime adjacent psychology stuff. Everything's going on without you on YouTube. The party's going on without you. Over here, it is dwindling. It is low ebb. It is awful, and you know it, and you're feeling it. You're feeling it hard, and because you're a narcissist, you're doing weird behaviours that other people don't do.
So, moving on to... Was this last Saturday? Now, what happened was, this was released, and TikTok was full of people saying, that's Christmas. Why was it Christmas? We didn't film it now, it's Christmas. They've embarrassed themselves now, because they proved themselves as conspiracy rubbish. Because it wasn't filmed at Christmas, it was filmed last week. They said, oh yeah, it's Christmas, because the huts in the background are Christmas huts. No, they're not. So I had to debunk that today, and that's why we're doing so well. Because I tell the truth. I'm not going from one side to the other. I'm not flip-flopping. I'm saying it wasn't filmed at Christmas. So all you people saying it's filmed at Christmas, get in the bin. You're the same people
Get in the bin, something I say.
that said all children, everybody was killed in the Watts house on the night. You're the same ones that never believe me. You have to know that I look into things. And when I say I'm right, I'm right. Okay? I'm right. It wasn't filmed at Christmas.
Internet, especially TikTok.
And what you're saying is what the mainstream media said in the papers. So
filming was done at Christmas of Kate and William. Well, I'm afraid I have to debunk it because the Sun did a report from the location this week, and the huts, guess what, are still there. Nothing
so
to do
the
with
Sun
Christmas.
did this report in the papers. So he's like, big ups Robin Green. Thank you for the super chat.
Torture the battery boy.
Thank you very much. The people on TikTok are not interested in seeing what the Sun said 3 days ago.
The Sun were there filming just a few days ago.
I'm here outside the
And
Windsor
the
Farm
people
shop.
that Alan's
Saturday.
gathered with his conspiratorial nutjob stuff, that he started to gather with his conspiracy stuff on TikTok, now he's turning around to them and saying, no, you're all idiots. So he's not winning any friends on TikTok. Don't talk rubbish.
The Prince and Princess of Wales were seen together getting some...
again,
This report from the Sun turns up there the day after.
the
And films this, right?
the
So,
worst
yeah, they all-
patron ever is the man just playing us his TikToks.
Lookers who described them as happy and said Kate in particular was looking very healthy. It's obviously the first time Kate has properly
I say his TikToks. Look at that awful crop on a video from the Sun.
seen in public since
Say
Christmas
that
Day.
this guy was there filming for the Sun before Christmas, right? So it is now. So why are you all so het up that
So he's eggy with the people on TikTok. The people on TikTok don't agree with him, and Alan's eggy about it.
these huts are from Christmas when they're not? There they are now today, with the
Big
same
ups, Kaz.
decorations hanging from them.
Torture the battery.
Big ups, Kaz. Thank you for the gifted tier sub.
High heels on my tippies. Dough, say and Gabbana, that's one.
These buttons are really loud because the filter I've got on with trying to get Alan loud.
Nothing to do with Christmas.
Nothing to do with Christmas.
Nothing at all.
You see, I love that. You see, this is one I love. I'm giving this tonight. I'll do it. And we might have to save the premiere for tomorrow because this is taking longer. But I love things like this. He agrees with himself, so that proves it.
Why are you all so het up that these huts are from Christmas when they're not? There they are now today, with the same decorations hanging from them. Nothing to do with Christmas.
Nothing to do with Christmas.
Nothing at all.
I couldn't be happier.
YouTube
There's
sent
the proof.
tippies.
Debunk.
Thank God we told Alan to get in the bin. Super Chuffer owes 3 hugs.
Big ups. Thank you very much, YouTube, for binning Alan off.
The truth is, if you see the chairs there, that's the cafe. If you've ever been to a farm shop, you sit outside, have a cup of tea, right? Buy a cup of tea from the hut thing, and then sit down and have a cup of tea.
Fine.
Well, if it rains. If it rains, you go in one of these little huts and keep dry.
Listen, fine. I don't care what the people on TikTok think about the huts.
No, they're Christmas decorations. No, they're not. They're going to look pretty foolish now. AD changed that today. So I've changed the case today for the whole world.
Alan has changed the case of Kate Middleton went to a farm shop for the whole world by reporting what was in the Sun.
Everyone was saying it was Christmas. I proved it wasn't. And that's why the YouTube need.
You didn't prove it. The Sun did. And you read it out. You just said that.
The armchair detective, but they haven't got him anymore, have they?
Please
No, we don't have you on YouTube anymore.
listen to people that are telling you these pictures of Kate were done in the Christmas period, because they weren't. They were done on the date they said. The magazine that bought them confirmed the metadata, which is embedded in the photography, tells them
The metadata now.
it was filmed last Saturday. 100% truth. The mainly American TikTokers swearing blind that this is a lie, and these huts were taken down at Christmas. Don't believe them.
Of Will and Kate out supposedly this past weekend, released by TMZ.
When he watches his own TikTok like this, I wonder if he realizes it looks shit.
Is a lie, and that this photo and video is
Like, you've made the video so small that it's a little tiny thumbnail in the middle instead of filling the whole frame like a phone photo does. You're putting a phone portrait video into a landscape editor, and then you're taking that landscape video and putting it into a portrait editor. So now you've put black bars on the top, bottom and sides, and your video is tiny in the middle. Like, this is stupid. This is the worst video on TikTok about this subject, and Alan's made it and he thinks it's got 1 million views, and he's just an idiot.
old, possibly from before Christmas.
Yeah.
No, you're saying it's a lie. No, you're lying, actually.
Turned into like a Christmas market during Christmas.
Yeah, they've made it like a little grotto. Those sheds or whatever they are, they're not normally there. Those houses in the back, they're only there during Christmas. They're not there day.
They're just talking at the backside.
Do you know what? Didn't that sound like the Google grannies? Like those made-up lawyers, like lying again.
They know nothing about Windsor Farm Shop. Probably never been there.
And conspiracies online about Kate's health, where she is, and so.
So I think he's appealed to people on TikTok in terms of conspiracies. Then he said to them, no, look, Kate was photographed at the farm shop. It's real. And they've said, like, no, Alan, we think it's a conspiracy because we're conspiracy people. And now he's like, you're just like the Google grannies. TikTok's turned on me. Yeah, I'll show you. I'll buy 1 million views.
Like you said there, inside the Windsor Farm Shop, where on Saturday the Prince and Princess of Wales.
I imagine with as many views as he thinks he's getting on TikTok, it does paying for it brings in some more people that look. And I imagine the comments are not always preferable to Alan. Like, and he's just sitting there fucking arguing and getting eggy about TikTok comments now.
Seen together getting some shopping. They were seen by onlookers who described them as happy. And
this is the Sun reporting from the actual location after Saturday, and there's the Christmas huts now today. Oh no, look, they've still got the little Christmas decorations on.
That's today, guys. How embarrassing.
No, they're not Christmas. They're just huts, and they're there all the time. Debunked. The photos, the filming was done on the Saturday, 100% proof. Before you believe anything, always check in with the armchair.
Do you like that? Armchair Detective, royalty check. That's a great play on words by the Armchair Detective.
Can somebody explain this one to me? Why is Armchair Detective royalty check a good play on words? Can someone explain that to me? I do not understand why Armchair Detective royalty check is supposed to be a good play on words.
That's why I'm good and they're not. Like,
that's why Alan's good and we're not.
Detective, royalty check. Get it?
I don't get it. Royalty check. Oh, royalty. Oh, wait, because it's money. Honestly, I didn't get it. It's a play on words. It's money. Royalty checks. So, I was thinking we were talking about royalty. So a check. Okay, now I understand it's a play on words. It's a bad play on words because it's about money, and this is not about, like, you're saying to your audience, like, you're thinking about money, but you're actually supposed to be doing an episode about the royals. You want their money, but they talk about the royals to get their money. Like, it's just like this is what I say about this week. This whatever he's doing, he's losing his grip. Like, people say he's already La La Land, but like, he's making such bad mistakes this week. Okay, I understand the play on words. It doesn't have anything really to do with you or the royals, unless it's something to do with money that you want. You want Armchair Detective's royalty check, please, for saying nonsense on TikTok. Like, are you lost?
Well, I thought
Detective.
Are you lost?
Royalty check. I will study the metadata for you.
You won't study the metadata because you don't have any of the metadata to study, and you don't know what to do with it if you did.
So
you don't even know what it is.
There's a lot of people.
So then I made a fourth film
from Kensington Palace,
where I put the picture from the farm shop through a enhancer.
Alan has put.
And now I've got an enhanced picture, and this one is the one that got the most views today. Let's see how many.
Alan has got an enhanced picture. He's put it through an enhancer. What he means is someone else on the internet has used artificial intelligence to create a face, and he's took it and put it on a TikTok and then paid for loads of views.
Views it's got today on its own. 70,000. This one today.
And if that was YouTube, that is the equivalent of about 7,000 or 700. Yeah, and so what? It's not even your content. You stole it from someone else.
I only did it a few hours ago. Got 70,000 views
because you're paying for the views.
Look how clear the picture is of the so-called Kate.
Some Buckingham Palace is getting on my nerves now. Okay, look at this picture on the left. I've enhanced the picture. She looks about 25. We're not falling for it.
No, already this is going to be a skip. You know, they're going to skip. I mean, it doesn't even look like the enhanced image. I've seen a better enhanced image on the internet. When you say enhanced, you mean you've changed it in some way, so now it's not the same image, so now it doesn't look like her. Like, what do you want about?
If you want us to believe what you're putting in the newspaper, I know the Sun's working for you. Here they are. That's definitely him definitely him on the left. But the girl on the right, yeah, I agree. That's William in the sun. And it was that weekend. Those huts are still there today. It wasn't Christmas. I proved that. And that's her. That's not a Christmas thing. They're there now, today. I proved it. That can't be her. Just give us a picture like this, guys. Just take a picture today.
Didn't he just say that it was definitely her a minute ago?
William, I implore you, take a picture of you and Kate today together.
So he's made a TikTok to prove that it's definitely her, and then later in the day he's had a pushback from the TikTok crowd, so now he's made a TikTok to agree with them all.
On. Because this girl, now I've enhanced the picture. It just can't be.
Now he's enhanced the picture. Look.
This is the enhanced picture.
That's
Do you
enhanced.
think this is Kate Middleton? Catherine Middleton? Really? Anybody think that? Okay, it's got pierced ears, the same place. And she's got big earlobes. I agree on that.
It's an
Could
AI.
be a lookalike. Yeah, big earlobes.
You didn't
But
do
the
it.
face?
Alan's busy at the moment. We're interested in this fucking awful TikTok, which we could have watched on TikTok instead of his Patreon. But he's busy on his phone again. Maybe he's texting his girlfriend. What's this weird girlfriend thing that he hasn't got a girlfriend? I told you he's going to take out his anger and vengeance in the way he knows best. And he's going to, I think, have hired someone on that phone, his girlfriend. Maybe he's got a girlfriend for the night, you know, and they're going to turn up and he's going to take out some anger on them maybe. Who knows?
There's a giveaway, in fact, which is going to be shown to you now. Take a close look at the teeth.
Because he's creepy
Can't
as fuck.
Have a lookalike teeth. The teeth are the teeth. And on this enhanced picture, they're not Kate's teeth. In fact, it's more like buck tooth. The girl in the picture has got buck teeth. Look, the two front teeth are bigger than all the rest. Kate's teeth aren't like that. She spends a fortune on her teeth. Look, perfectly in line. The cheap lookalike you've thrown out there as Kate doesn't wash with the social media.
So the phone just got put down again. You see him pick up the mouse. You can actually see the cursor being picked up there. Like, literally just not even present on his own patrons.
In 2020.
Are these different teeth? This is Kate Middleton, 100%, right? Lovely. Straight line, perfect teeth, right?
Right.
Two. The girl you give us hasn't got these teeth, has she? The girl you give us has got these teeth.
Well, now they have.
Is that the same teeth?
No.
They look like two protruding buck teeth. I don't know if I can say buck teeth. Is that like not politically correct? She seems to have her front two teeth. Used to be a condition that I used to know as a kid, buck teeth. And they need to be put back in line, right? Is that the same teeth as Kate Middleton?
Get out of that. Get out of that, the Sun. Get out of that, Buckingham Palace. Stop effing about giving us a buck tough girl.
Who is this? Where has he got this picture from? I'm going to Google it once, and this picture had better come up on Google as like a normal picture, because if this is some sort of pornography... Bucktooth girl images. Well, it doesn't come up immediately. In fact, that meme of the kid comes up first. She's grown up now. There's a lot of kids come up when you search that, so Alan's had to wade through all these pictures of kids. Where's he found that picture from? Like, why is that in his hard drive? See what I mean about him falling apart in this episode? Like, he is falling apart. He edited that into his TikTok and uploaded it onto TikTok himself, apparently. Reverse image search. I don't want to, I'm scared. I have to fuck about. I'll do it. I'm not doing it now. I'll screen grab it and I'll do it on Twitter later. Not Twitter. I've screen grabbed it. I'll do it later. I'm not doing it now. Good idea. It's going to get me too derailed, but we'll look into that. I'll leave it hanging in the air like a bad smell for now.
I just did this for illustration. This is not.
I just did this because what?
This Kate Middleton.
Get out of that. Get out of that, the Sun. Get out of that, Buckingham Palace. Stop effing about giving us a buck tough girl.
I just did this for illustration. This is not Kate Middleton. Like I said, a little bit of a joke by me. It
was about like 20. And take a picture.
I sort of got the age right, haven't I? Sort of a caricature of Kate.
For God's sake. All we want is one picture of the couple together. That's not her, is it? Really? Nah. I had a vote on
So I asked people to vote. Is it the same woman? Looks like it's been in a time machine.
You asked them to vote on this TikTok after telling them that it's someone different. But you asked them to vote on the other one after telling them it was someone the same. What are you doing? I presume you have to check to make sure you've got the right shoes on when you go to the shops and that you haven't accidentally put them on the wrong feet again. What are we up to?
I was 20 years younger, but that's just my opinion. But anyway, 85% of people said it wasn't Kate. That's not me doing it. It's me asking the question. Is it Kate? 85% of people said no. That's a lot, isn't it?
Yeah, so now you don't think it is because the people said it wasn't. So you're now going to go with the populist vote, yeah? On a TikTok that says it isn't. And it's 85% of whom? How many voted? Is it a lot? I don't know. It's only 85%. Are you that stupid that you're going to tell me that 85% is a lot when I don't know the criteria of the poll? Well, it's a big number, so it's definitely a lot. Yeah, but you could have asked like 3 people. Then it's not a lot. Like, are you stupid?
They're in trouble. The palace is in trouble. They already photoshopped the Mother's Day one. Is this photoshopped as well?
Is it Kate or is it?
Yes, because you just said you photoshopped it and enhanced it, and it's somebody in the media. What you didn't say is that somebody else put it through an AI sharpener, and then they came out with an image, and now you've stolen it. That's what you didn't say.
Not.
What does it look like?
Most people, 80%, are saying the picture you're giving us, the sun, the palace, is not Kate Middleton. It's not her. Your public, your subjects, future subjects, King of England, are being duped, it seems.
Does she look ill?
And the only way you can get out of this is stop messing about with Photoshop pictures and blurry images from 1975 lookalikes and give us a picture of you sat with your wife. Now, please. As the speculation is never going to end. Now, this video I've made here is going to make it worse, I know. But I have to tell the truth. I'm not on anybody's side. I said that. I proved that the huts are there today. They're not from Christmas. You didn't go for this walk at Christmas. You went for the walk last Saturday. I agree. And I agree.
Who's he talking to? The future King of England is watching his TikToks.
It's William. That's not Kate. Is it? Well, if it is, you've done a terrible film job of it. The filming's terrible. Surely someone took a selfie or a shot of it. Surely all the time they're in
The man who made this TikTok is critiquing somebody else's media.
that shot, someone would have took a picture.
That's how clear a snap would have been if somebody just took one picture. It would have been clear as day.
But no, we have no pictures. This is shocking. Time to come clean. Put up or shut up. Give us a picture of Kate Middleton now before it goes crazy around the world. People will see through this ruse that you set up last weekend. Look how clear these pictures are. Give us a clear picture. Feeling a setup. Why does the person that did the filming from his car sell it to a small newspaper, TMZ? Why not sell it directly to the Sun and make more money? Very suspicious.
It's very suspicious to sell this to TMZ, giant media conglomerate, Fox-owned. You know, they covered the Johnny Depp stuff, didn't they? Like TMZ is like the biggest one, and Sun licensed it from them. Alan doesn't understand how the media works. He doesn't understand who owns what, and he doesn't understand that he reports things from, like, he literally. Like at this point, we've said it in the last episode as well, it's got to the point where I don't think Alan does understand things properly. So he just gets the Daily Mail or the Sun and then just thinks that's what it is and he just reports it. Alan is a puppet voice of the Murdoch Empire. He is confused by and manipulated by the mainstream media. He is the bewildered herd, but he pertains to be a shepherd. And yet he is just absolutely wandering around in fields, not knowing what's going on, eating grass soup. Someone found the original buck teeth, sent me a pic. Big ups. Is it from something really weird and dodgy? Like, okay, it's from that's all right. It's from Halloween costumes on Google. Buck teeth. You can buy them. They're a Halloween costume. It's not a pornographic image. Spoil sports. Turns out it's not pornographic. You can just buy it on the old internet. Look, it's not pornographic. It's buck teeth. You buy them.
One eyewitness said she looked happy, relaxed and healthy, and it's also been reported that she attended a sports event her children were taking part in on Saturday.
I'd have preferred it if they were porn teeth.
When we could catch a glimpse of her walking up to church with the rest of the family.
It is good news.
I'd have preferred it if they were porn teeth. Alan's sat back now, just going to let these chuffers talk on his stream. Like, he's bored of it, we're bored of it, no one cares. So we'll skip that, yeah? Because I'm not listening to that rubbish. Alan's ticky-tocky. We know now that he's fighting both sides of this argument just to try and retain popularity on TikTok. A popularity that's fake that he doesn't have.
All this trick. So I've got some sort of like plan here. Now, if you were the man in the car filming them, the same man was in the shop, stood next to him when they're buying bread. Why didn't he take a snap in the shop? He could have done when he was at a distance from him. I've done it many times. Looked at my phone, but really I'm taking a picture of someone, right?
I'm sorry, what? Your Honour, I direct you to Exhibit B. Alan Vinicum admitting to taking private photographs in public of people, photographing people when he's pretending to look on his phone.
Shop stood next to him when they're buying bread. So I've got some sort of like plan here. Now, if you were the man in the car filming them, the same man was in the shop, stood next to him when they're buying bread. Why didn't he take a snap in the shop? He could have done when he was at a distance from him. I've done it many times. Looked at my phone, but really I'm taking a picture of someone, right? He could have done that easily. He didn't. He got in his car and then filmed them. He sort of pretended, he said like, oh, I thought I'd seen her before somewhere. I sort of recognized her. And when I got back to my car, oh yeah, I thought it was her. So I filmed them. That's BS.
So Alan just admitted, right, that he takes photographs of people in public, but he pretends he's looking on his phone.
When they're buying bread, why didn't he take a snap in the shop?
Like, forget this Kate Middleton nonsense, yeah? Like, the guy could have took a photograph of the King of England and the future Queen, like, in the shop on his phone, but that would have been quite uncouth, wouldn't it? Maybe he just stood and, like, bowed and said, oh, Your Majesty, lovely to see you. Like, you know, shook his hand, something like that. And then later on thought, ooh, or maybe he didn't do any of those, like he said, like, maybe he just was in the shop and he didn't realise it was them, and then later on he ran and got his phone. But he didn't, it's impolite to do that anyway, but he didn't do that. He took a photo later, but that's irrelevant. What's relevant to us more than anything is Alan's admission that he sneaks pervy snaps. Creepers taking photographs of people in public. Where's the one in the Weatherspoons? Have you seen the one in the Weatherspoons? Have you seen this one?
Yes, you are. I'll send you out. Listen, excuse me. Excuse me. Do you know this? Do you know this guy? Do I know who? On the table. No. He just took a picture of your bum. I just recorded it. He just took a picture of your bum. This guy here. He just took a picture.
Jesus just took a photo of my ass, bro.
Yeah. He's sending it to me. I've got it. This guy here. He's got it. Him. He's got it. I've got it.
They get well eggy. Again, we'll probably watch that on Twitch later, you know, in the B-side if anyone really wants to watch it. They get well eggy. They would much rather he deleted the pictures. You know, creepy man taking pictures of some girl's bum in the bar. Look, he's got a pic. Look, there she is at the bar. He's taking a picture of her bum. Look. What's that you were saying, Alan, about taking pictures of people when they didn't know it with your phone, pretending that you were using your phone? Where are you doing that? I hope they're grown-ups. I hope they're not children.
If you were the man in the car filming them, the same man was in the shop, stood next to him when they're buying bread. Why didn't he take a snap in the shop?
Mm-hmm.
He could have done when he was at a distance from him. I've done it many times.
looked at my phone, but really I'm taking a picture of someone, right?
Is that what you're doing? You look at your phone while you're taking a picture of someone. I bet people can tell he's doing it.
In the shop, stood next to him, and they're buying bread. Why didn't he take a snap in the shop? He could have done when he was at a distance from. I've done it many times. Looked at my phone, but really I'm taking a picture of someone, right?
Right. Many times. So, do you think if the police got hold of your phone, they'd be interested to see what pictures you had on it? Because you know you can't delete them properly. Like, you know, you can delete them and then delete them off the delete list and all that. But they're on there, aren't they? These days, modern phones. Like, I bet you saved them in the cloud. I mean, he probably sells them on his like. Is this not what paedophiles do? Forget whether Alan's a paedophile or not, right? So that I don't get in trouble for defamation. But this seems really noncy what he's admitting to there. Like, when you add it up with all the other stuff, who is he going to be taking pictures of? Women? Men? Kids? Like, who? What? For what reason? It's not detective work, is it? Are you stalking people? Like, you've done it many times. So who many? What many? Many different people or many of the same person? Many times anyway, right? So Alan's out there in Exmouth taking photos on his phone many times of people. Maybe it's on the beach. If you had a collection of photographs of, like, I don't know, compromising positions, upskirts, stuff like that, maybe even involving children, do you think, like, because people like Alan could just, like, or sorry, what I'm trying to say is paedophiles sell them to people on the internet. They, like, gather a load of pictures and they sell them, don't they? Make some monies.
It's raining again. I couldn't be happier.
Lulu sent tippies. All hail for tippies.
Big ups.
A great way to pay for your time and effort, Scott.
Thank you.
Thank you for entertaining us.
Thank you.
Tippies, 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 you watching Luke. Super Chuffer owes 3 hugs.
Thank you very much. Thank you. I think we just cracked a case there. I think we just cracked the case of the pervy old man, but we'll have to see what's on his phone, wouldn't we? Or the police would.
Was in the shop.
Maybe I should have led the episode with that. We're going to obviously clip that and we'll, you know, shout about it more in the future. Like, I won't stop shouting about it now. Will I? I won't stop shouting about it now. He's going to need to come on stream, answer some questions, isn't he? Like, what we're going to need to know now, Alan, is, like, Alan, you've done that live on the internet. Remember that? Like, you know how you do these things. You've done it live on the internet, right? So what I would do if I were you is I would probably come on and say something about what the fuck you meant. Because if not, then we control the narrative about what you were doing. And in my mind, I don't understand secret photos in public, yeah? Taking, what should I call this little bit? I'll call it taking photos of people in public without their knowledge or consent, comma, the Alan Vinicum way, right? I would think that that's, like, probably, you know, if you don't explain what the fuck is going on, most people, it's not just me, I'm not trying to create a boogeyman here and say, oh, it's bad, oh, like, is there anyone in chat? Okay, this is a better way to do it. This is a better way to do it, isn't it? Should we have a little poll? Like, I mean, is there anyone in chat who can think up any reason that you might be taking photographs of people in public and it's fine? Like, start a poll. Is Alan should I put pervert this time? Pervert instead of nonce, because it might be more general than, you know, I'll just put yes or no. Is Alan a pervert? And you can do like, is he taking pictures that are non-perverse, or are these perverse pictures? That's my question. Is it voyeurism? Like, that's probably a crime if he's doing that, isn't it? Isn't it a crime to upskirt people? It is actually, isn't it? It's like a full-on crime. Isn't it a crime?
Film them. He sort of pretended he's in the shop. He could have done when he was at a distance from. I've done it many times. Looked at my phone, but really I'm taking a picture of someone, right?
Is that a crime? Are we talking crimes now? No one's said no on the poll, so that's 100%, Alan. That's a bigger number than 85%. So I'm just going to end the poll straight away. We'll keep it at 100%. That's the best poll ever. So I kind of think Alan just admitted to doing a crime on the internet, but...
Stood next to him and they're buying bread. Why didn't he take a snap in the shop? He could have done when he was at a distance from Martha many times. Looked at my phone with William taking a picture of someone, right?
Is it?
He could have done that easily.
We'll fuck him up.
Didn't.
Daddy will go out with a hammer.
He got in his car and then filmed them. He sort of pretended, he said like, oh, I thought I'd seen her before somewhere. I sort of recognized her. And when I got back to my car, oh yeah, I thought it was her.
Nothing.
So I filmed them.
Oosh.
That's BS.
BS.
If he stood 6 foot from Prince William and Kate and they're talking, he's actually going to work out that's the future King and Queen of England, right? He didn't take a snap. Now, he then sold it to this TMZ company, who are well known for following up tip-offs and taking pictures.
Tip-offs. Thank you for the tippies. Tip-offs.
Why didn't this gentleman sell it to the Sun? The Sun would have given him a lot more money, but he sold it to TMZ.
Or maybe the Sun wouldn't have given them more money, or maybe TMZ would have done. Maybe you know nothing about it. Or maybe these people who take photographs of these royal people are actually hanging around trying to get photographs because they work for TMZ. Or maybe this guy doesn't read the Sun, maybe he just likes TMZ. Or maybe what the fuck are you fucking arguing about, Alan?
What if TMZ had a setup and they planted someone there to take the pictures? Could have easily been done that, couldn't it? Kate and William will be in this such and such a time, film it, and she will respond by walking and smiling. Film it and put it in the papers. That's how it works with public relations. That's how it works. Tip-offs. And then, of course, it goes in the Sun. The Sun didn't want it because if it's not her, they're going to get crucified. So if they show it and blame TMZ, they're exonerated, aren't they? That's why it was in TMZ, not the Sun. Sun knew what was going on. They had the exclusive from TMZ, who they're connected. I think the Sun owns, I'm not sure, but I think the Sun owns TMZ. Maybe one of my Spaniards could look at that. Is there a connection between the Sun and TMZ? Somebody look that up for me, thank you. The TMZ took the fake bruises on Amber Heard's face, shown in court in the Johnny Depp trial, all done by a tip-off. They're shady. TMZ are shady characters that are used by bigger newspapers to do tricks. Trickery. I want to use the F word.
I mean, he's got a point there, hasn't he? Like, you know, they obviously do pretend paparazzi and then publish stuff in the newspapers that create stories and you all talk about it. Yeah. Like, Alan's one of the suckers who buys those newspapers and reads the articles and talks about it. The dummy.
TMZ are connected to the Sun. Now, meanwhile, Kensington Palace have issued a statement. We have a team.
Let's not forget, in today's episode, the worst patron ever, Alan charged people money so that he could confess to a crime. Like, if it's not sex videos and photographs, I mean, is there any way that photographing... We went through that. Sorry, it's just rattling around my head. Like, you know, he admitted that he takes photographs of people in public without their knowledge or consent.
The clock to devise
many times.
The Princess of Wales back to work plan after weeks of immense pressure. They know the world will be watching.
Do you think he's out there trying to find Nicole Kessinger? Hanging around the bikini shops in the bikini aisle. He set up a load of brown bikinis in Debenhams and he's hiding behind the brown bikinis in Debenhams. He's fine.
After weeks of heightened speculation and outlandish commentary on
Well, yeah,
social
he
media.
also admitted that his friend hacked the Prime Minister's medical records. But when he said admitted, I also think made up.
So they're planning a comeback. Kate was admitted to hospital in London clinic for a planned abdominal surgery on January the 16th.
And now he starts just reading the fucking stuff off, like the news off his phone. Like, it's really poor show, this is. Remember, this is his patron. He's feeling under pressure. He's told a load of lies. He's admitted to something horrific. He's off the rails at this point, and he just sort of peters out.
She remained there for 2 weeks before being discharged to a home at Adelaide College in Windsor. Details of her condition have not been revealed. Other than said it was not cancer related and she's doing well. She won't be back till Easter. She's recovering at home. But lack of photographs and sightings of the nation's royal favourite, she's like Diana now, isn't it? It's getting like Diana, let's face it, led to a swelling wild conspiracy theorist. It would do, she's not telling us nothing. And then she went and doctored the Mother's Day thing. The Princess of Wales pulled out of attending a memorial service of his godfather, King Constantine of Greece, at the last minute.
It's funny, the other day, it was about a week ago now, wasn't it? Someone asked me on the Twitch stream about Kate's stuff. I actually cut it as a video, but by the time I was uploading it, it had moved on, the story. And I actually said at the time, well, of course she's edited it. They just take photographs, you know, she's not the world's best photographer. The kids have probably all pulled different faces. They just wanted to make a good photograph for the media, so she's done a bit of Photoshop. She's not that good at it. It's a non-story, really. Now, I don't know why people are getting so het up about all this. They lead private lives as they are royals. People are just getting all a bit worked up. And Alan was the one doing all the working up and getting all worked up, but a week late. Like, it's kind of weird.
So that added to the controversy.
You're right, actually, Scouse Mouse. You don't need consent when you're out in public. There's no expectation of privacy in public. You're right. As a videographer, you know, I could go out and I could film whatever I want in public. But there is also a sort of courteous, like, in terms of I don't have to have your consent to film in public, yes. You know, if you walk in front of my camera, you walk in front of my camera. But I think if I follow you around, if I've taken, like, specifically of you, like, not just the scene, you know, whatever. Like, if I'm following you and taking maybe a series of photographs of you, then it goes beyond a sort of you're in public, so it's just fair game. I think it opens it up into a sort of harassment. There are rules now about, like, you know, photographing, upskirting and stuff like that. Like, you know, I think it borders into what could be debatable, like, and I don't think you'd enjoy it. So personally, as a videographer and photographer, I certainly wouldn't be doing it. Like, and I don't. The other thing is, who is it in public that Alan wants to photograph? That's the real critical question, I suppose. I did push the consent thing to try and make him look a bit worse, but because it is worse, like, socially, courteously, it's not good. But the question is, like, who would Alan want to photograph in public? Like, the only people he could photograph in public that wouldn't be bad would be men, I suppose, grown men. If it's not like grown men, then it's bad, isn't it? So, what Alan admitted to, if he'd said once, but he said many times, and so it's a regular pursuit of Alan's then. So now it becomes a sort of strange behaviour that's different again, like, you know, yeah, I can't see it. Like, I think as well, it matters less in my mind as a YouTube content creator reacting to him as to whether the police can fully prosecute him with the strong arm of the law, or whether just everyone knows he's a fucking weird wrong-un who's taking photographs of people in public without their knowledge or consent. You know, socially, I think it's the social thing with me. I'm actually not a detective. I'm just a YouTuber, so...
What was going on between the couple? Then they had the editing, amateur editing, really bad. Appeared to issue I should say sorry. I wanted to express my apologies for any confusion of the family photograph we shared yesterday, because I hope it was to help a celebration for Happy's Mother's Day. Despite calls for the original to be published, Kensington Palace...
Do you know what? I think, actually, overall, I think that is one thing now where I'm going to have to sleep on this, but I think contacting the police with that clip might actually be a really good idea, because it kind of brings together a lot of the stuff we've been saying. Like, it's different from the other stuff, you know, saying he knows what paedophiles like, or he knows that paedophiles want children of a certain age, or he would have took this girl to a shed if it was him, and stuff like that. It sounds really weird and dodgy, but it, you know, you can argue his way through it. But he's made an admission there that he's photographed people in public. So who and why? And the police can literally, I mean, is that enough evidence? Maybe they'd have to decide it. But that public admission might be enough evidence to ask to see his phone, mightn't it? Like, it might be enough evidence to sort of, you know, under a certain, I don't know, I'd have to investigate the rules and the laws, but there are some new, quite serious laws about photographing women in public, aren't there? And certainly children, like, you know, in that way. You know, you'd have to imagine, like, you see, the thing is, we don't see the pictures. We don't know whether someone's just at the checkout and he's photographed their face looking lovely in the sun, or if they've been bending over to get something out the trolley and he's photographed right up their bumhole. Like, we don't know what kind of photographs he's taken. Like, he can zoom in on his camera and stuff. Like, the stupid thing about this as well, I think that I cannot understand Alan's level of stupidity again, is that these things are all recorded on your phones. Like, if you're going to go around being a nonce, it's going to... I still don't get this about all the nonce things, you know? It's like when they turn up, they're like, they've got all the chat logs, and like the nonce people are like, and like they're talking about it, and like they've got all the chat logs. Like, you're fully caught. Like, you were there in the chat logs, so you know what was written, so you know that you're a nonce, yeah? And they've got them all, so it's all recorded on the phone. Like, you can't just throw your phone well, you suppose you can throw your phone in the sea, maybe, but like other than that, like, I'm trying to think, like, you know, it's all recorded in the, like, the Facebook Messenger system and all that. Like, you can't delete it all and then it goes. The police can get it back. Like, it's all in your hard drive, on your phone, on your record, on your Google search, isn't it? It's like, if Alan's taken those photos, if Alan has taken a series of illegal photos, then if the police got his phone, they would get them out of it, even if he deleted them. Do you know what I'm saying? So, like, what kind of idiot uses their own phone to take illegal photographs in the street? And the definition of legality, I guess, we'd have to investigate more, wouldn't we? But I really feel like you'd have to see the content of the photos and make a judgment call. And I really think if you were the police, if those photographs contained women or children, then they would be quite interested to see them. And he's done it in such a way that now his only, like, way to disconnect with that is to, like, literally smash up the phone, burn it, throw it in the sea, like, you know, and hope that there's no sort of sync to the cloud, or that he didn't send them on his sort of messenger system. Like, it's just bizarre, isn't it, what he's done, and then admitted to on the internet. On a day where Alan's felt heavy pressure, and he's admitted to it, you know, he's at a low ebb, he's furious and angry and all this stuff. Oh, thanks for calling me a nonce. On a day when he's done that, he's now opened up an entire new, and this isn't Martin Dean feeding me this information, Alan, this is you. This is your truth. He seems oblivious to how bad it is, the thing that he said. Maybe that's where the messages are coming through from his, you know, his mods, and he wants to just get off the stream quick, because he seems to peter out and disappear. Maybe they noticed.
Will not be reissuing the real photograph. Palace Insiders, the mistake was an entirely innocent attempt to make it the best picture they could. We'll show us the original one. But they don't. And now we hear that her records have been leaked. So I want to know what that leak is. I want to know what... I know it's too late now. If somebody's gone into a hospital and got her records, and they don't need to hack it, just need to press a button on the computer, and it comes out what's wrong with her, I think that's good. Unless there's something really disastrous wrong with her. TMZ, a tabloid newspaper, is owned by Fox. Came out in 2005. Collaboration between AOL and Warner. It's owned by Warner's now. They bought it for $50 million. Wow. So there you go, that's TMZ. So I guess it's American company. And they put that all across America. So I don't know what you think, but I'm not any more convinced than I was last week.
I don't know what you think, but I've got no idea what I think, says Alan.
I want to know the truth, that's all.
Just wants to know the truth. But, like, what? Yeah, you spin conspiracy and lie nonsense. You spin conspiracy and lie and conjecture so that you can harvest views and confuse people for money. And then it went wrong this week because you didn't know which side twice. You didn't know which side of the argument you even fell on or should fall on for your audience's sake. And you're really at a low ebb. Things are really going downhill. I mean, this is his Patreon video. It has had 8 likes. It's had quite a few more views, I'll note, but maybe from people that think he's a bit, you know, on the wrong end of the stick here.
I don't know. It could be Kate, you know? But she looks so young. Looks so young.
Like TikTok.
Yeah, so there we go. They mainly do sports. Yeah, anyway, right. So there we are then, guys. I think I'll leave it there. It's getting late now. Time for my bed. I'm trying to do earlier shows because of my creeping age and my blood pressure and my anxiety over this court case. I struggle to function very well late.
Something's happening with him and he needs to leave. And his mind's not on the job and he hasn't really got anything to say. What he really wanted to do was he was so angry that Super Chuffer did 4 hours calling him a nonce that, or sorry, Battery Boy, or whomever I am. Like he was so angry about that, right? He needed to go on TikTok and do 1,000 views, paid for, and then jump on here and shout about how he'd done that and how good he was, so that we watch it and go, oh shit, I shouldn't have called you a nonce. It's played right into Frankie Rusik's. Oh, I've ruined the court case. I'm the stupid one. Like, stupid bluff. It made you look more ridiculous and more stupid than ever. And you look like you're flailing about. And now you've done another, like, you've shit your pants again by admitting that you take photographs of people in public.
So, yeah, so they're linked to Murdoch and the Sun. So there's a connection between the Sun, Rupert Murdoch.
Do you think?
And this whole ongoing pictures at the farm. I knew there'd be a connection there somewhere.
Oh, Alan solved the case again. Alan solved the case of the mainstream media. Next week he will be reading The Sun and the other rest of the mainstream media as part of his content and just reading it. He's so deluded. Like, he gets stupid ideas from stupid people and runs with them, doesn't he?
And it is. The only thing I can say, I've had a great day on TikTok, 100,000 views.
Yeah, it's gone really well for you, hasn't it? Things are going great for you. Oh, where's Nancy with the Malta money when you need her?
1,500 people watched my live tonight. How many people on YouTube get 1,500 people watching their lives?
We'll be doing that on That Being Said tomorrow. I'll be on That Being Said tomorrow. They put about 1,000 on a stream.
Maybe 1/10 of 1%, maybe?
1/10 of 1%? Don't think so.
We're back in the public eye, which is good. All I've got to do now is get rid of this court case, and I'll be happy as a sandboy. And because of...
He said happy as a sandboy, but there was some sort of glitch.
Jeremy Vine.
Because of Jeremy Vine.
I've got... It's like... Look up guilty by proxy, and you'll know my case, and how I'm going to win.
Do you know, I do love it when he says look up this or look up that. Insofar as what he means is, I can't be asked, I don't understand it. I'm not going to be able to explain it. Go and look it up yourself. And nobody ever does. Nobody's going to. Like, we might on our side be interested to, you know, in his Spanners group, I mean. Do you think, like, Kaka's going to go and look up guilty by proxy now? Like, do you think she could be bothered? Like, all they want to do is get off your damn stream so they can live the rest of their lives in peace. Like, at this point, I don't know why they don't just give you the money up front for the year and just then not have to turn up. What is it, Alan? Yeah, okay, it was going to be this amount. We've been doing it for several years now. Let's just give you the money at the start of the year and you take that and spend it on poker and I'm just not going to turn up. Can we just do that? Like, he would probably agree to it.
You can't, public figure, get people to hate somebody because you don't like them or their opinion. The repercussions are massive. And I've got proof. They're on YouTube every night. Nonce. Yeah? It's great news.
I've got proof. They're on YouTube every night. Nonce. He's getting his teeth around the words now, isn't he? He's starting to say the word nonce.
It's like, look up guilty by proxy and you'll know my case and how I'm going to win. You can't, public figure, get people to hate somebody because you don't like them or their opinion. The repercussions are massive. And I've got proof. They're on YouTube every night. nonce. Yeah? It's great news. Thank you for watching Armchair Detective. Friday tomorrow, is it? No, I don't know what day it is. Thursday tomorrow. Is it Wednesday? Every day is the same for the Armchair. I think it's Wednesday. I'm not sure of the day. Is it Wednesday? I think so. Anyway, we'll be back again tomorrow. I'll be working on this Middleton stuff, and I've got a shocking new thing about I'm going to tell you about tomorrow.
Well, you told us a shocking new thing today, that you take photographs of people in public without their knowledge or consent.
And Rose, the so-called woman her husband has an affair with. I've got some inside information on that I want to share with you tomorrow.
Made up? Is it made up? Because the inside information today was that your friend works at a hospital and hacked the Prime Minister's medical records, and that the Prime Minister never had COVID.
Good night for now. Join me tomorrow on TikTok and Rumble. Things are going better, guys.
No, they're not. There's a barefaced lie. This is what I mean. He's come on, like, in his mind, things are at their worst. Yeah? So he's come on to say things are going better. It's so clear and transparent.
See you.
See. Good job, Alan. Good job. Proper good job you've done there. Good job, Alan. Well done. Good job. That didn't make you look fucking insane, did it? It didn't make you look like you've been screaming and yelling and crying and smashing things up and having to calm down, and then a knee-jerk reaction to pay a load of monies to get a load of people to watch you on TikTok, fake views from somewhere, and then went on Patreon and did that, by your own admission, the worst ever, your worst ever patron, where you admitted that, well, you lied, in my opinion, and said, well, I don't know whether it's slander or libel or what it is. It's just an outright lie, isn't it? That you've got a friend that can hack computers at the doctors and can see the King's medical records or whatever. And then you also said that you took photographs. I mean, the other one, I don't think that's a lie, where you said that because you even acted it out with your hand like that, like how you do it. You pretend that you're on your phone and you secretly are videoing and taking photographs of people in public. I said videoing, you said photographs. I mean, I'm just guessing you could video as well. And I don't know what purpose, we'd have to talk more in depth about that. Maybe you could tell us. Maybe you need to tell us, because otherwise everyone is going to assume, well, even if you tell us, some people will still assume that you're taking upskirts and voyeuristic shots of women and children. So, which Prime Minister? Yeah, I think the implication was it was Boris, and that Boris had faked that. But in my imagination, couldn't you imagine someone in the pub saying to Alan, "Oh, my mate knows that Boris didn't even get COVID. Oh yeah, he works at the hospital and he can hack the computers." And Alan's like, "Yeah, I'll say that in my show. Thanks, man at the pub." He buys views and he buys likes. I'll 100% agree with that. I'll 100% agree with that. 100%. He could always get some normal paid work. Easter's coming. Alan Vinicum, babysitter service, look. So the question is, it's nearly 8:30. Do you want the Royal Shambles now as a one of them premieres? Angry Alan's Royal Shambles. Do you want that as a premiere? Stop offering me feedback. Should I do Angry Alan's Royal Shambles now as a premiere? Or should I save it till tomorrow because it's a bit late and you all want to do other stuff? We'll do a vote in chat now. Do you want the premiere now or do you want it later? I mean, theoretically, you're going to want it now because you're all here, aren't you? Like, the people who don't want it now have already gone to bed. Start a poll, which is premiere now, question mark. I'm going to go on Twitter. No, I keep saying Twitter. I'm going to go on Twitch and play Genshin Impact, even if the premiere's on. But premiere now, yes or no. It's an hour and a half of Angry Alan talking about Kate Middleton and all that business, and obviously me saying he's an idiot. So You can have it tomorrow. It's, you know, some people have said in chat do it tomorrow and save it, but the poll is basically saying to do it now. They want it now. I mean, I don't really mind. In the big picture of things, it's not going to be the be all and end all of my channel, whether I got a few extra views or, you know, you can watch it tomorrow. Red Fan's saying do it tomorrow, and Red Fan carries more weight because they bought all of your memberships for you, so... Red Fan tips the scales quite heavily in the do it tomorrow section. A lot of the members are saying do it tomorrow, you see. A lot of the members are saying do it tomorrow, so I should listen to them better. Tomorrow I'm doing That Being Said, though. And what I want to do is have something after it. Okay, so no, this is the deal. This is the deal. Tomorrow I'm on That Being Said. Listen, I'm sorry to do this to you in the poll, right? Tomorrow I am on That Being Said. I've said it a number of times now. I am on That Being Said tomorrow. Is it tomorrow? What day is it today? Yeah, no, tomorrow, yeah? And because of that, I was thinking I'd like to do a live stream after That Being Said. I can drop the video after That Being Said, can't I? As a premiere, straight after. So I could then say, thanks very much for having me on That Being Said. And they'll say, is there anything you'd like to shout out? Are you doing anything? Are you cutting a video or doing a live stream? And I'll say, there's a video coming out right now. I'm going to schedule it for now, and you can watch it now. And it's about Alan, and he's a bad man. And then everyone can join if they want. How about that? Because I'll be doing the stream tomorrow on That Being Said, so it's nice to have a video to drop on Battery Exhausted straight after. Although the poll, I mean, this isn't like democracy. I don't have to listen to the poll. This is I'm Vladimir Putin, and this is Russia. You have to do what I say. I feel a bit 50-50 myself, but I'm going to jump on the old... hang on, I did want to just check if Alan's doing a Rumble tonight. I did just want to check if he's doing a Rumble. Because he said he was going to, didn't he? He doesn't appear to be. So I imagine he's just watching... I don't know, he shouldn't be watching this. He's banned from YouTube. And it's not intended to cause him alarm and distress. And the police are not going to come, and they don't care. But... yeah, I'm going to play Genshin Impact, so... maybe it's better to do the video tomorrow. What time is That Being Said? I don't know. I can't remember. I'll post it in the Discord. I'll post it on Twitter. Look out for it. You can find it here. You can find it here. I'll post it in the chat. It's always a similar sort of time, and I never remember. Let me see if I can grab it off the search for That Being Said. It's like 9 o'clock in the morning American time, I think. Which is like the afternoon in the UK. Might be about 4 o'clock. I can never fucking remember. I watch it every damn week. It might be like... because sometimes I'm like, should I stream or should I wait for That Being Said to finish? So it's about the similar sort of time that I start to stream. 3:30 PM EST, around about then maybe. Whatever that is.
What is up, everyone? Hello, hello, and welcome. Oh, the camera's on.
The
camera's been on the whole time, huh? I don't even know. Hello.
I forgot that was playing in the background. I'm in two minds because I'd like to have something for that after That Being Said tomorrow that I can say, yeah, hey, dropping this now. But I could say join me in a stream and we'll watch Angry Alan Nutter Watch, but we've just watched him, so unless he does something else or some other nutter does something, like, I can't guarantee that. So it might be nice just to have the Alan video held. It's just my reaction to his stream about the Royals, you know. It's not... it'll be fine. Better than this. I'll tell you what else I've got for you as well, right? This is going to have to go into Nutter Watch on Friday, though, I think. We're going to have to discuss it on Twitch to decide whether it gets in there, but have you seen this?
That's enough of their fucking shit. You want to ride to the fucking airport, you're shutting the fuck up now. Otherwise, you can call a fucking cab.
What did I fucking... What did I do? What did I do?
Oh, fucking cab, asshole!
What did I do?
It's done now. Are you happy?
What did I fucking do? I didn't do anything!
So, yeah, that was Queen Cobra last night. She's on her way now to Cobra's house. She'll be there as we speak. I've got her on a button, hang on.
I dream about food every night.
Not that.
Battery exhausted. I have no fucking clue what you're talking about or who you're talking to. That's the problem.
So with that and her going to Cobra's house, I'm sure that there's going to be another bizarre behaviour stream. Like, I don't know if that might just be whole of Nutter Watch on Friday. Like, Red Drum True Crime, put it as an upload, not a premiere, then we can watch at our own leisure. No. You have to watch it as a premiere to boost it. And it's nearly 9 o'clock now, so it's 8:30 now. You've got 2 minutes. I've got 2 minutes. If I drop the premiere now, then you watch it now, and not so many people watch it tomorrow, and then it goes on to the next day, and it just gets sort of lost. Like, this stream should be the thing that gets suggested and is that we've done tonight. The premiere should really be tomorrow, really, shouldn't it? I promised it at the start, but then it went on a bit. I thought we were going to be here for like an hour, and we've been here for 3, so that's the problem. So I'm going to go on. What did you just tune into? She's in the bathroom. She's been in the bathroom for about an hour and a half, putting a face mask on. So, she gets well eggy when they want to use the bathroom later. Her parents, and they all do they talk about it?
What did I fucking do? I didn't do anything!
And they have a talk about it, and then later on she has a bit more of a talk about it. I don't know if anybody on TikTok, Dandelion, I don't know who that is. I'll have to look into it. So we've got something for Friday's Nutter Watch. I'm interested to see, I'm just doing a bit of like a lull now at the end, right? But I'm interested to see what Alan does next. Because that clip of him saying that that's really bad, what he said. He's falling apart in my opinion. Like I said, today's episode is sponsored by The Letter. He's fucking floundering. And he flounders.
When he was at a distance from, I've done it many times. Looked at my phone, but really I'm taking a picture of someone, right? He could have done that easily. He didn't.
So he flounders a lot. But tonight he self-incriminated himself in what could be a crime. Well, if it's not a crime, everyone knows it's creepy and everyone hates it and it's just awful, yeah? He looked desperate. When I say desperate, I mean like the man looks desperate. Like desperate, you know? Desperate. Is it desperate for the Malta money? Is it the court case impending? Is it just the fact he doesn't like the thumbnails? Is it the fact that Chuffer Army goes on, YouTube goes on, people talk about Kessinger, he's irrelevant, not getting any success on any of the platforms. The Odyssey thing looks desperate. Like desperate, doesn't it? It looks desperate this week. Really bad. And he can't pretend. He can't come on and say, oh, thanks, Scott, for calling me a nonce. That was really good. I'm glad you called me a nonce. Like, he can't keep pretending all the time. It's silly, we know. Like, it's silly. We know, yeah? So I'm interested to see, because I think the next move from Alan, really, whatever he does, I think he does need to accept that out in the public, amongst one of the bigger channels that talks about him now, bigger than him, Like, we're all bigger than him on YouTube now, aren't we? We're all bigger than him. So, like, but bigger channels that talks about him specifically, I spend some time talking about him, yeah? Like, we've talked today about, and we've shown that he said that he takes photographs of people in public without their knowledge or consent. I think he's going to need to sort of accept that that's a bad thing and say something about it on, you know, I need to hear something about that. But we'll see. We'll see. What do you think in chat? What do you think his next move is going to be? No, I've got loads of greens in chat now. All the greys left because their opinion didn't count in the poll. They said he did the poll, I voted in the poll, and I didn't get my voice heard. Yeah, well, you're not a member, so you have to wait in the queue. This is VIP now. Wait, can I put members only in chat? How do I make members only in chat? I bet you can as well. I bet you can make it members only chat. I'm going to make it members only chat, and all the greys are just going to get, like... He did a poll and then he went against it. Yeah, Vladimir Putin, mate. Vladimir fucking Putin. What do you think Alan's next move is in chat? What do you think Alan's move is in chat? Yeah, you get different coloured badges on how long you've been members, and I can actually create something in a Photoshop app to give you different pictures and stuff, so I might have to do that one of these days. You think you'll be on Rumble later? It's only 8:30 in the evening. I'm going to go on Twitch and have fun playing a Genshin Impact, I think, after a bit of a break and some food. You're going to get that video tomorrow so that I don't have to stress about doing anything after that being said. Although I will want to stream after that being said, and I want to be like, yes, I was on that being said, it was fun. But I'll probably do that on Twitch as well. You won't dangle a premiere and not play it. You get it tomorrow. You get it tomorrow. If this hadn't gone on for 3 hours, I thought that was 40 minutes of him, and most of it was talking about Kate. So I thought it wasn't going to take that long, but I'm in two minds. I still think you've still got chance for the premiere, because 9 till 10 you could have the premiere, but then the knock-on effect is 10 till 11 is the last viewing figures. They close down at the night time. You know, you chuffers go to bed, so that video will be dead by tomorrow. If you know what I mean. Like, tomorrow's new videos will get served to people and it'll drop off the algorithm. So it won't be the best time to do it. You think he'll go flashing in the park? I did wonder about who's his girlfriend on his phone. We didn't talk about that really, did we? Well, I talked about it earlier, but who's his girlfriend on his phone? I've got a girlfriend. Creepy. He did that, didn't he? Like, we know he hasn't got a girlfriend, so what kind of girlfriends are you booking on your phone? I don't want to show you that, he said, the picture on his phone. Maybe he had pictures on his phone. What was that on his phone, the girlfriend thing? That's like, it sounds really bad. Like, I thought the lie about in the early days, Alan lying about something like having an insider at the doctors who can tell him that you know, all that business. That's a classic Alan lie. But the classic Alan clanger drop and creepy weird thing, he said two of them. He said he'd got a girlfriend. I got a girl. Like that. Who was that on the phone then? What were you doing there? And then, who are you taking pictures of? Where are those pictures going? What are they for? Are they for your own just private amusement, or do you sell them to other creeps on the internet? Can't he just look at normal porn? Like, you'd think he'd be alright with that, wouldn't you? You'd think people would be alright with just normal porn. Like, if you get a bit fruity, there's different categories and you can have a bit of a browse of something a bit fruity. But, like, what's wrong with normal porn? Why do you have to be so fucking creepy? Once I was 7 years old. Alan's out with his phone taking pictures again. Keep your kids indoors. I wonder what's on his phone. Do you think he goes out? This is another question, right? Do you think he goes out? Yeah, I agree, Red Fan, actually. It is best to give this video a chance to be viewed, but it's just all you chuffers. What are you going to do? Like, you can come and join me on Twitch if you want, but some of you won't. So then, like, I feel like I'm just like leaving them to. I'm like turning them out of the party early. It's a bit of a shame. If anyone else is doing a stream that they want me to link through to, like, I can link through to somebody else's stuff. Or you can find your own entertainment, you chuffers. I am providing on the other channel, but I do need to eat something in between. Like, do you think Alan goes out and just sees someone in the garden centre and thinks, oh, hello, time for a sneaky photo? Or do you think he goes out, like, you know, like I go out walking the dog or flying the drone. Do you think Alan goes out taking a load of pictures as a hobby? Like, do you think it's like a pastime for him? Do you think he goes down the local shopping centre and, like, sees if he can fill out the hard drive? You know? Do you think he's got favourite people that he follows, like, and stalks? That's another question that I've totally, like, if it's a randomer, if you're in the supermarket and there's someone and they've got, like, see-through jeggings on, what do you call them, leggings, like, they've got see-through leggings on and, like, they're bending over the trolley and, like, you can see the knickers and stuff, like, then Alan's like, oh, I'll get the phone out and take a fruity snap. Like, that's one thing, yeah? But it's a different thing if Alan's like, oh, it's fish night on a Wednesday, she'll be there. I'll go down and she'll be there with the kids. I'll get a few photos. It's fish night at the fish and chip shop. And then on Thursday, she likes to get ahead and I'll pop past and see if I can get one through the window. You know, if it's that. It's Blank Faces live now. Well, there you go then. There's a good shout. There's a good shout. I mean, giving them my approval without knowing anything really about them. Just, it's based on content. They're not live now, look. They're not live now. So, you can go and watch them, but they're not live now. They were live 6 hours ago. Maybe they will go live, but they're not live now. Or maybe they've got the other channel. Hang on. They've got 2 channels, haven't they? What's the other channel? Because they were going to do Wedgie Watch on the other channel now. Maybe that's it. On the new channel, look.
And he
there you go,
the
new channel.
Until this point. So I said, okay, I'll go.
Right.
I'll go. Sunday was
Yeah,
cleaning.
he hadn't been speaking, but you told him previously.
Everyone over to Wedgie Watch then for a bit. And I'll play on Twitch later. I'll go and get myself some food. I'll be on before about 11 o'clock or something. But Blank Faces is doing Wedgie Watch. We do like a bit of Wedgie Watch. So there's a second channel for the Wedgie Watch. I'm putting it in chat. Get over there now and I'll see you in the... Like, that's instead of the... I gave you the option to vote, so what was the point? Yeah, the point was to gauge opinion and to see what... yeah, it was to gauge opinion and see what kind of appetite there was for it. So I appreciate your votes. There were 30% of people who wanted it the next day, so they count as well. For once, their voices are heard just because they're not in the majority. And also, there was a load of Green members who made their opinions clear in chat, and they outweighed it as well because they're Green members. So, what do you want? Like, you have to. That's the benefit of being members. You get more weight in the conversation. You're a Green member as well, though, Candice. So, what was the point? It was just a bit of fun. As I said, it's not a democracy, so you know, I can do what the fuck I want. Other votes will be watched with interest as well. Get over to Wedgie Watch. It's fun. It's like what we do here, but with John Wedger as the subject. So you can get over to Wedgie Watch and join in there. I'm going to go and eat some food and play some games. And then tomorrow, I'm on That Being Said, which is a joy for me. I'm really pleased about it. So I'm going to enjoy that. I hope you might join me there. I'll post about it on Twitter, and I'll probably do a community post on YouTube for it as well, on Battery Exhausted. And yeah, we roll on, we roll on, we roll on. Roll on like Dio Durant. You be good, and if you can't be good, A chance to share your opinion and be no, not ignored. I didn't ignore it. Listen, I didn't ignore it. I took it. It's like being the Prime Minister. Yeah, I took it. You know, the 70% majority opinion. I took it on board and then decided not to go with it. It doesn't mean that I didn't take it on board. I didn't ignore it completely. I understood that I was going to decide not to. If it had been like 90%, it might have been different. If all the Greens had said, we're never doing another poll again. Polls are over. From now on, I'm choosing the president every 5 years. No more polls. We tried a poll and it didn't work. We tried a poll and it went wrong. So
I need banana, tasty banana. Put banana in my mouth. Squeeze the peel, it comes out, and then squeeze banana.
something else I need to do, little secret one, is I need to get some clips of Alan at his worst. I might be able to get that together before that being said tomorrow, or I might not. So we don't know. But it might be nice to have a few clips of the worst of Alan. They might not want to hear it. You be good, and if you can't be good, you'll notice.